Hello, Durud, and Shalom, and Hola. Hi, Monkey.
Hola, how are you?
Good, good. Wow. The past 24 hours, so much has happened. Saudi Arabia, I don't know, that managed to find some backbone. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Saudi Arabia is in bombing. So, you want to see the updates, Monkey? Do you want to go through it? Because a
Yes.
lot, a lot of it, by the way, is confirms what both of us have been saying. Something about you wanting you mentioned, will you see that the Hashd Shabi is being bombed by not just the Americans, but also the Saudis, which confirms your analysis, by the way, Monkey, that President Trump is using the current situation to pressure these countries to get in. And now we're seeing that. So actually, let me just stop talking. We'll see what the updates are here.
The United States and Saudi Arabia now have joined forces to strike Iran-backed terror sites in Iraq after the regime launched a surprise missile attack on American troops in the region who were traveling to Jordan.
The commander-in-chief now weighing next steps after holding high-stakes meetings with world leaders at the White House.
So Chief Foreign Correspondent Trey Yingst is live in Tel Aviv with all the action. All right, Trey, make sense of it.
Yeah, hey guys, good morning. Overnight, Iran launched a surprise attack against U.S. forces in Jordan. At least 5 missiles were fired by Iran, breaking the lull in fighting over the past several days. CENTCOM released a statement saying at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Time today, Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps forces launched multiple ballistic missiles from Iran in an attempted surprise attack on U.S. forces based in the Middle East. All Iranian missiles were successfully intercepted. U.S. forces remain vigilant and at a high state of readiness. The United States has not yet responded to that attack, but overnight, U.S. and Saudi planes conducted a series of airstrikes against Iran-backed Shia militias in Iraq, who were responsible for 30 drone attacks over the past 3 days. On those strikes, CENTCOM said the unwarranted attacks against U.S. forces were not successful. From February through April 2026, there were more than 600 attempted attacks on U.S. citizens and facilities by Iran-aligned terrorist militias in Iraq. The IRGC and its terrorist proxies must cease these attacks to avoid further U.S. military response. This kinetic action in the Middle East comes as reports indicate Iran has rejected an Omani proposal to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. On Tuesday, President Trump held a meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu as the pair decide the next steps in the war with Iran.
Look at this regime today.
By the way, I heard the meeting went very, very well, and Prime Minister Netanyahu was very happy with the results of the meeting. So that to me suggests that, I mean, if Prime Minister Netanyahu is happy, that means more big events are about to happen. Or am I reading too much into this? What do you think?
No, I probably agree. I want to touch on what happened before, what we talked about, what was said before. This is joint strike mission. Joint strike missions after a solo strike mission failed. You see the pattern I'm laying out here? Like the Saudis tried it alone, it didn't go well. They weren't hitting on target. So it's like, okay, we're gonna, like, pun intended, right? We're gonna take you under our wing, and we're gonna start doing some of these strikes together. I'm sure they've done joint exercises together, but like joint missions together is not the same thing. And sometimes that kind of on the ground, live fire, real mission training, and I wouldn't even call it training, just experience, helps. So I believe that's why the US even had to go in, is because they need that kind of training. I think the prince, well, I think he's like king, right? The king of Saudi Arabia. KBS, is that what they call him?
No. Mohammed bin Salman is the crown prince. The crown prince.
MBS. It's MBS. The
Yeah.
crown prince, but he's basically the ruler. He's in charge, pretty much.
Yeah, he's the main. His father is like the king is not in charge. The crown prince is in charge. That's correct.
Yeah, like the king is the king, but who you place in charge of operations, that's MBS. Well, I think he would be, a little bit embarrassed and a little angry at his troops if they're not working right. He would have pressure to get better, get good at joint strike missions, and he would have pressure to look, do you want me to take Iran off the table? Because I can leave them on here for a while. I don't have to take them out right now. Maybe you should sign this accord. Maybe you should start pulling your weight around here if you don't want to have these problems. And you don't have to say it like that. You can say it without words. And I think that's kind of been happening. And that, developed into them trying to strike the Saudis. That mission kind of didn't go as well as expected, which might have led to, hey, maybe what we need is some experience together so you can see how we work together. And then you guys start working together in the same way.
That's a great point. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that information. So now let's see what Bibi is saying.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu as the pair decide the next steps in the war with Iran.
By the way, that's a beautiful shot right there. Not just this is obviously beautiful, but this one.
As the pair decide the next steps in the
Ooh, that's a beautiful shot. Love this shot.
war with Iran.
Yes.
Look at this regime today. It's attacking everybody in sight. It's attacking Saudi Arabia. It's attacking Kuwait. It's attacking Bahrain. It's attacking the UAE and others. It's attacking everything in sight. And it murdered and maimed tens of thousands of its own citizens. This is what this regime in Iran does today when it doesn't have nuclear weapons. Now imagine what they will do to the world if they had nuclear weapons. And that's what we have to make sure that we prevent.
With no diplomatic breakthroughs, the region may see more intense fighting in the days ahead. Guys.
So, Trey, whatever truce we were under, whatever talks may have been taking place, it didn't seem to matter. But the IRGC says it's wrong to assume that we told the Iraqi militia to rocket U.S. interests or Saudi interests. They don't expect us to buy that they would act independently, do you? Do they really expect that statement to fly?
Wait, read that question again. That's important.
It's wrong to assume. So, Trey, whatever truce we were under, whatever talks may have been taking place, it didn't seem to matter. But the IRGC.
Yeah, that's first of all, that's exactly what we said, that the MOU doesn't matter. The talks are just for show.
He says it's wrong to assume that we
did get their money.
True. Other than that, it didn't. Wait, well, you're right. Let me adjust. It didn't help the Islamic Republic. Like when people say like, oh my God, this is for the Islamic Republic, it's going to do this and this and that. It didn't do any of that.
Didn't seem to matter. But the IRGC says it's wrong to assume that we told the Iraqi militia to rocket U.S. interests or.
Are you kidding me? Like, why? Yeah, the IRGC said like we didn't tell our proxies to do it. They are your proxies. They don't do anything without your orders. Why would they just go ahead and bomb? Like, why would they do this on themselves? Of course, they're in dirt. Oh my God! Like that's such a. The IRGC is just insulting the whole world's intelligence by saying that.
Saudi interests.
Well, wait a minute. What about what we talked about? The 32 regional commanders and the infighting. Like, is there a chance that we can either this be true or doesn't matter if it's true? We can use it as an excuse to say you don't have your 32 commanders in line according to you. Here, look at this post. You said you don't have your people in line, so you're not in control of your government. Like, whether true or not, it serves us if we are trying to declare them not in control of their own military. A government that's not in control of the military is not a ruling government, is it?
True. It's also true that they got their act together more now compared to earlier on. But you're right. They want to pretend that, oh, this is difficult. Our hands are tied. But it doesn't really matter. You're right. It doesn't really matter. The effect is the same. At the end of the day, we look at what the behavior that is coming out of your country, whether it's all of. So here's the thing: the IRGC division is not as when it comes to operations is not there as much anymore. When it comes to politics, there's some division. There is a lot of division between certain different elements of the Islamic Republic, but within IRGC operationally, it seems like everybody is back on the same track. Yeah, and so, and also the main thing I want to focus on, the main thing I want to point out though, is that Hashd al-Shabi or other proxies of the Islamic Republic within Iraq will either be, whether this is true or not, whether there's division within IRGC or not, they're either getting their orders from all of IRGC, but if it's not from all of IRGC, it's from segments of IRGC. The main point I want to make is that it's not that they are making the decisions by themselves. So whether the division is there or not, they're not acting independently. Does that make sense?
Like, okay, so the attacks aren't. I was under the impression for a second that some of these attacks were coming from within Iran. If they're coming from Iraq and they're saying, "Hey, that wasn't me,"
Yeah.
that's a different calculus. Are
Yes.
they getting commands from one of the regional commanders instead of another? What is the tie there operationally under, like, whose command are they under? That's a
Don't know.
different question. I
Yeah.
that kind of slipped for me.
Yes. We don't know. That's a great question. Mossad probably knows. CIA probably knows, but whether who's exactly making the decisions within the IRGC is not clear. But it is from within IRGC. Someone within IRGC. Yep. So let's continue.
They don't expect us to buy that they would act independently, do you? Do they really expect that statement to fly?
Even if the IRGC was telling the truth, and in this case they are not, the next question would be, why did you launch 5 ballistic missiles at U.S. forces overnight after the president offered you another negotiation window?
Right.
But when it comes to the proxy groups across the region, the IRGC has.
Well, here I have an answer to that, because that's
the report I knew about.
Yes, their understanding is that it's all the United States is not serious about a deal. Their understanding right now is that, like, oh, here's another deal. Here's another way for us to talk to. Let's negotiate. The Islamic Republic's calculation right now, whether wrongly or correctly, is that United States is getting prepared for a big attack, and the negotiations are an excuse. That's what they're saying from their end. And they were like, "Oh, we're not going to fall for this. You guys are just telling us we're going to attack. And like, if you hit us back because we're attacking, and you're like, oh, we had such a great deal for you, but you said no. Like, nope. We're not falling for it. We know that this is like, you're going to hit us anyways. So we might as well just start this." That's what they're thinking.
My main focus would be on the attack from inside Iran, because either you're not in control of your own military, which makes you not a government, or your government just attacked, which means we can't deal with you. Either way, we can't deal with you.
Why did you launch 5 ballistic missiles at U.S. forces overnight after the president offered you another negotiation window?
Right.
But when it comes to the proxy groups across the region, the IRGC has direct control and funding of these organizations, not just these Shia militias in Iraq, but also the Houthis in Yemen and the threats that they have made against the Bab al-Mandab Strait, this entrance to the Red Sea. And so while the Iranians continue to say that they are looking for some sort of negotiated settlement, the reality on the ground is quite different. And again, this strike overnight is significant. These airstrikes against these militia groups, it is not unexpected given the number of drones that were launched over the past 72 hours. But really the focus here is on that missile attack overnight against U.S. forces in Jordan. Remember, earlier this month, 3 American service members were killed in Jordan by these exact Iranian ballistic missiles. And that is exactly what they were trying to do overnight, kill more American soldiers. And according to CENTCOM, those missiles were intercepted.
And Trey, what is new about today's news is the fact that Saudi Arabia, this is the first time Saudi Arabia has really gotten involved in this. And they say they don't want a further escalation.
Well, to be more precise, Saudi Arabia was involved before. They never made it official, and they coordinated with the Islamic Republic when they did that, right? Okay, so there you go. So
Problem I have with this is Saudi Arabia's messaging. They should be more on message. They should be saying, "Hey, we're sick of their shit too. We're gonna have to hit them because we're sick of their shit." Them saying, no, let's go for a deal while you're getting struck by them and striking them is just ridiculous. And, you know, I don't think it's befitting of MBS. I think MBS should try to be a badass. He's perceived as a badass by many, especially when he talks about Europe accepting all these people into them, and about how Iran shouldn't have a nuclear weapon because they're expansionist. He's like, in that sense. I don't know about his other policies. He's kind of like, putting himself out there like a real leader. If he wants to be also a real leader, he can't have this government sending these wishy-washy hippie messages.
Yes. By the way, deal with who exactly, Fleshy? Oh yeah, warning. Fleshy is saying, warning, I am salty today. Okay. But okay, let me actually read this just to make sure that we are on the same page, to know what happened. So the ballistic missiles were fired at U.S. troops in Jordan, came directly from the territory of the Iranian regime. So, Monkey, you were right about that. While Iraqi-based proxies launched secondary drone strikes. So the ballistics came from inside Iran, and the drone strikes came from Iraq. But here's what I don't like. I don't like it that the only strikes occurred in Iraq. So they only attacked, the response was only in Iraq. So the launch came from Iran, the ballistic missiles came from Iran, the drones came from Iraq, but the U.S. Saudi Arabia joint response was only in Iraq. I think like I think they should have also responded in Iran.
Okay, now think to yourself, why wouldn't they?
Are they getting ready for something bigger?
That's the only reason I see why they would do that. Another
Hopefully.
thing, what we're doing with the El Shabab, wait a minute, no, not with the Bab al Mandebs, with the Houthis, and what we're doing with Hashd al-Shabi, with PMF in Iraq. These are, I was talking to Jeff about this yesterday. These are shaping operations, like things you want to tidy up before you go for the main guy, so that when you're going for the main guy, his two little flunkies can't come at you. Like if you're gonna fight a big guy, right, and you're a big guy, but that big guy has two little lackeys close to him, you sometimes take out the two lackeys quick so they don't get in the way of your fight with the big guy. Do you understand? Am I, Walmarting this enough? Like, I'm trying to basic it down to like, you understand, we're taking care of these two lesser problems, which are problems, so they won't interfere with bigger operations. Maybe.
Okay. Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's a good. Yeah. Maybe. Hopefully. I mean, that.
Hopefully.
If it's hopefully, that's what we want. If that's not what's happening, then this is not good. I'm thinking. Yeah. Steak and Beans, by the way, give us a super chat saying like, comment, and subscribe. Like, shout, like. By the way, guys, you guys are so awesome because I keep forgetting to remind people to like the stream, but you guys are so awesome. You do it for us. And look at this. Steak and Beans was telling people to like. And then Amir also saying, listen to Steak and Beans, subs, and like to Liberty Politics and Grease Monkey. Yes, and to read Grease Monkey as well. You subscribe to both channels. Thank you so much, guys. You guys are awesome.
I have to make a confession. I did not tell anyone in the chat to like or subscribe at any point yesterday for 2 hours and 15 minutes. I completely forgot. I was so engrossed in the conversation and talking to the chat and into the topics that I got to put my alarm for myself or something. So every, 30 minutes or something, I remember.
It's okay. It's okay. The people, our people do that for us. The group people do that for us. Even if we forget. And then we have Dominic became a member. Thank you so much, Dominic. Appreciate you. Welcome to the group. And Kevin just got a membership for somebody in the chat. Somebody is now a member because of Kevin. Thank you so much, Kevin. I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. And also Amir got us 5 membership. 5. Thank you so much, Amir. Always gifting on the chat. Thank you so much, Amir. I appreciate
you guys.
I appreciate you guys. Okay, let's continue.
But they just want to be able to protect their energy infrastructure. So, I mean, that's quite a message to Iran from the kingdom. Hey, don't screw with us, guys.
You really do have to consider the calculation here, because the firepower from the United States and Saudi Arabia greatly outweighs the ability for these Iran-backed Iraqi Shia militias to actually defend against any incoming attacks. But yet they are still launching drones, not just...
Oh, I have the results of the attack. A beautiful video of from the ground. Would you like to see that?
All right.
Yeah. Well, let me just
Hell
keep playing
yeah.
this while I'll download it. Okay. Yeah.
It's Saudi Arabia,
Cool.
but also...
I mean, like it's a little bit different. It's not like the boom booms. It's basically somebody running away in fear. So I'll download that. I'll show you guys once this video is over.
U.S. forces in the region and Israel. The Israelis say they shot down over the past several days a number of drones along the border with Jordan. And it gives you a sense of what these drones threaten. And remember, there was another U.S. service member killed when they were disarming one of these drones in northern Iraq. And so there are a lot of moving parts here, but the proxy forces of the Iranian regime have been directly attached to officials in Tehran. Remember, last week, President Trump issued a warning to the Houthis in Yemen, and he said if you launch missile or drone attacks against shipping vessels in the Red Sea, then not only will the Houthis pay a price, but also the Iranian regime. And so we are likely to see an escalation here in the response from U.S. forces, Saudi forces, and others, because they want to send a clear message to Iran that whether you attack from your own territory or you use your proxies in the region, there will be a price to pay.
Yeah.
Trey, we're talking about the military aspect of...
So this is really good. Like, guys, like the Hashd al-Shabi is being weakened to the point of maybe irrelevance. So is Hezbollah. So are the Houthis. I mean, oil prices suggest that the market thinks the Houthis can't do much, right? Not as much as people were expecting, because it fell back again. There's two reasons why oil prices dropped. The market is analyzing the Houthis' ability to close the bubble mandab, and they are taking into account the fact that the opposition to the Houthis in Yemen is becoming more united and stronger. That's one reason that the oil prices dropped. And another reason is that the pipeline, the oil pipe in Egypt that takes the oil from the Red Sea to the Mediterranean Sea is doing a good job, apparently. Like, I think that was, that is also doing a lot of heavy lifting over there. So I heard those two reasons. So that makes the Houthis less relevant. The Hashd al-Shabi with these attacks by joint U.S. and Saudi military operations are becoming less relevant. And United States is also making Hezbollah, helping Israel, making Hezbollah less relevant with the peace deal that they signed. So again, this is the defanging process that we have been talking to you guys about of the Islamic Republic. Even if you guys are upset that there's a delay when it comes to the final major attack against the Islamic Republic, whenever that comes, all of these defangings will make it much easier to push the Islamic Republic over the cliff once we get there. They're basically removing most of the deterrence capability that the Islamic Republic has before we get to that point. Is that your understanding too, Monkey?
I would add one more fang, but this one was removed earlier. I think Hamas is also greatly limited and has been limited probably since before Epic Fury started. So that's basically the four fangs that they have, and the four areas that they had some control over that had already been reduced to 3 by the time of Epic Fury. So when you look at the long arc of the IIGC's influence, it's been greatly reduced. And what Jeff likes to call, or in the military higher circles, they like to call these shaping operations in Lebanon, in Iraq, in Yemen, are laying down the groundwork for focus perhaps somewhere else, like Iran.
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah. Okay. Let's go through this before I go to the video I have from inside Iraq.
Of this war, but there's also been a great financial strain to Iran, both with the naval blockades as well as the war itself. How sustainable is that financial strain for Iran?
It's not very sustainable at all. And that's why the Iranians are painted in a corner here. They have to make some sort of decision. And it's a binary decision. They're either going to return to war with the United States of America, or they're going to sign a negotiated settlement that addresses opening the Strait of Hormuz and their nuclear ambitions. And that is why the region is such at a critical point right now, and why that meeting yesterday in the Oval Office between President Trump and Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu was so significant. The Iranians are economically suffering as a result of the U.S. naval blockade of their ports. They are losing hundreds of millions of dollars each and every day. Inflation is rapidly rising in Iran. We have heard from Iranian civilians who are having trouble keeping their businesses open. The IRGC reportedly cannot even pay its own soldiers as a result of the lost funds, because they're not able to export their critical thing, and that is oil. And as a result of this U.S. naval blockade, they are being choked off economically. And they're in a position now where they have to make a decision. Are they going to sign a negotiated settlement or return to war?
Good question. All right, trade.
All right, so let me go to this video from inside Iraq. But before that, we got a super chat from Boboism saying, for a safer, freer, and more Swedish Sweden. 100%. Thank you, Boboism. Yes, thank you. All right,
I think
Mikey.
because of the 5 months of economic strain, that is going to affect the versions of Nyack and Nair all over the world, because I'm sure they have people like that all over the world, probably in Sweden too. So just like they're having a lot of problems with the inside Iran with paying their soldiers and what they just said, it's basically us 5 months in a constrictor's grip, just being squeezed, with your money leaving, your operational military leaving, and your influence leaving. So I'm hoping that helps all over the world.
Yes, that's a good point. I hope so as well. Look at this video. This is from Karbala, inside Iraq, as Saudis attacking Saudi bombardments inside Iraq. Watch this.
Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar! Allahu Akbar!
So this was
he running from in the base to the outside? It looked pretty
I
close.
have no idea. Yeah, that was pretty close behind him. This video, a lot of Iranians enjoy watching this video because whoever is dying in that background over there, the Iranian people's understanding is that this is this Hash Shabi, basically the same people who were inside Iran massacring the Iranian people on January 8th and January 9th, right? So this was, a lot of Iranians were enjoying watching this, thinking that, you know, those are the people who are dying. The Hash Shabi.
Yes. And whoever was hit back there was definitely not on camera, YouTube. But
Yes.
we do get the strike sense they're gonna hit something. It was a powerful strike, and this guy is like running for his life, basically.
Exactly. Look at this, Monkey. The White House. The White House posted this video, and the caption is "Finish this fight."
I
Isn't
showed
that
Jeff. He was so happy. Jeff was so happy when he saw this. Like, yeah, like it was like, you know how he is. He was so happy.
Does this not signal something big about to happen? Like that something big is about to happen, or am I reading too much into this?
Not only that, having missile strikes and not retaliating, to me says, combined with this, but like by itself says to me more than about it than just this. But the combination, it's kind of like I like to say, or like the Hermit King says, I'm just imitating what he says. When you have many points on the graph, you can draw a line to show what's happening, like where this is going.
Okay, guys, want to see this video? Let's watch it. I know some of you have already seen it, but let's watch it together.
People are asking me, please, 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 Mr. President, we're winning too much. We can't take it anymore. We're not used to winning.
I don't. So I don't know. I hope this whole finish this fight caption. I think the caption says more to me than the video. The caption tells me more than the video. So I hope so. I hope something is about to happen.
Yes, but you're probably younger than me, but as when I was a young chimp, I used to play that game. That was a Halo soundtrack, and it just puts a warm feeling in my heart.
No. Okay, that's Halo. All right, look at this. Trey actually had a more recent video that there's something at the big end of it, apparently quoted by President Trump, that makes this a much bigger deal than the earlier Trey video that I showed you. So let's look at this. Is much more recent than the one that I just showed you. So let's look at what he says here.
Yeah, guys, good morning. President Trump reacting to that Iranian attack on U.S. forces overnight in Jordan. President Trump tells Fox News about Iran, "We are going to beat the effing S out of them." He went on to say, "We'll be hitting them hard. They're going to get a beating." So clearly the United States is going to respond to what the president described as a surprise attack. He says U.S. forces had just minutes to shoot down these incoming Iranian ballistic missiles.
I know Monkey is probably going to correct me on this, but I like to think the reason why. So let me before you correct me, let me communicate this. I was thinking, why are they calling it a surprise attack? Aren't all attacks surprise attacks? And then I remembered, like, no, actually, no. The Islamic Republic, most of the time when they want to attack U.S. bases, they coordinate with the Americans to try to, because they're afraid of the American response. So, like, why even call it a surprise attack? Like, is it because it's different from the other attacks where they communicate to the Americans before they attack? I don't know, but what do you think? You keep saying it's
Yes, it is different from the announced coordinated virtue signal attacks. There is a difference.
Right.
You know what else I'd like to point out?
Yeah.
You know what I bet that was an attack on Jordan? I believe the target was Jordan, right?
Yes. Okay.
Okay, if the target was Jordan, and last time when we had other operators, we could not respond in time. And this time, despite the speed of the attack, we could respond in time. This confirms that it is not a problem with the equipment. It is a problem with the operators.
Oh, that is such a good observation. Well done, Monkey. Well done. Great observation. So wait, was the first attack that the American servicemen died coordinated, but still Americans died because Jordanians were operating it? But the second one was a surprise attack. Okay, correct me.
I think they were both surprised, but the reaction time on American operators is higher than the reaction time from the American operators, which is lower. Like, they react faster. It takes less time.
Yes.
Right. Like, the American operators have been trained, probably been doing this for many years, or at least many years. Would be faster on the reaction. I don't think the first one was coordinated. I don't think anybody would have.
Yes. So anybody would have died if it was coordinated. Got it. So
it would be basically murder if they had coordinated that first one.
Yes. Guys, so for people who might not know what we're talking, me and Monkey and I are talking about, the many times before, the Islamic Republic tells, like, when they attacked the Ain al-Assad base, U.S. base in Iraq after Qasem Soleimani was killed.
The what base?
They attacked it. Ain al-Assad. It's a base.
It sounds like you said something different. Never mind. My bad.
All right, so guys, different bases, American bases in Iraq or Qatar. The Islamic Republic would contact the White House and announce that we're going to hit your base because of virtue signaling reasons to their own base of support in Iran, so that the Americans move around and no Americans die, because the Islamic Republic was always afraid of the United States reaction. So this is what we're saying, like, this is a surprise attack as opposed to the pre-planned virtue signaling attacks that the Islamic Republic usually does. That's what they're calling. But let me go back here because I really like President Trump's language here when he was like, "We're going to f them up." This guys,
I'd
this
like
is
to clarify something about that. Usually, when that happens, these bases are evacuated, so you wouldn't have anyone on the ground. We would also, if that happened, we would not allow other operators to respond to something like that if we are leaving someone to respond, because that would make us negligent. Like if I know an attack is coming and it might hit my personnel, I'm not going to have someone else on the controls of our defense. I'm going to have some of my people on the controls of the defense. I think they are equal attacks, both unannounced, unprovoked, basically surprise attacks. One of them had our operators, the other ones didn't.
right. Okay, let me play this. Before I play this, look at this. Jagatai is saying we bust out the Halo OST only when we're serious. Okay, well then we're serious. That's a signal that something as big as happening. Guys, there's so many signals. I'm getting pre-February 28 vibes. I don't know, like, there's so many right before the attack that killed Ali Khamenei. There were so many things that suggested that something big is about to happen, and then it did. It seemed like that. The language, the coordination, the Netanyahu visit right before it, all of the military infrastructure and logistics, all suggesting that something is about to happen. I don't know if I'm reading too much into this, but it seemed like they're getting ready for something big. And President Trump also, whenever President Trump keeps celebrating Prime Minister Netanyahu, usually it's a signal that something big is about to happen as well. But I might be reading too much into this. We'll see. And
Well,
also,
we did have Netanyahu, the president, Zelensky, and the prince all together basically in
right,
Washington at the same time. We don't know where they gathered later, if they had some kind of meetings later. I'm sure
right,
in all governments there's closed door meetings. I wouldn't say I can, have 100% certainty that these meetings have happened, but I would put I'd go over 50, I'd go to 70, that there's a
right.
lot of meetings going on, and they include the prince, Zelensky, Netanyahu, and of course president.
But the strongest indicator is the Halo song. No, isn't that the
I
highest?
Yes, I mean,
Yes, sir.
Jagatai is on the money here.
Okay. Okay. And then we got another super chat by PJ saying, "We'll finish this fight." Yes, do it. Oh my God, Monkey, I'm getting excited. Thank you, PJ. Do you think it's something big is about to happen, or are we getting excited for no reason?
I think there's very it's hard to find evidence. It's harder to find evidence that something isn't going to happen. If I'm going to try to prove that something big is not going to happen, I'm having a harder time than if I'm trying to prove that something is going to happen.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, let's see. President Trump's language here is very aggressive. Let's listen to it here one more time.
Yeah, guys, good morning. President Trump reacting to that Iranian attack on U.S. forces overnight in Jordan. President Trump tells Fox News about Iran, "We are going to beat the effing S out of them." He went on to say, "We'll be hitting them hard. They're going to get a beating." So clearly the United States is going to respond to what the president described as a surprise attack. He says U.S. forces had just minutes to shoot down these incoming Iranian ballistic missiles. The president says he has reviewed video of the shoot down, and it was U.S. forces conducting this operation to defend that area.
Wow, Monkey was 100% correct about this. It was the Americans. This is why they intercepted them.
Said it was real time. They were calling out coordinates and ensuring that none of this incoming Iranian fire got through. I also asked the president.
By the way, the audacity of the Islamic Republic must think that something big is happening, because you would only behave like this if you think that there's no stopping this, right? Because the Islamic Republic is responsible for 4 American servicemen just dying. If you would think that they will hold back right now, not to poke at the Americans anymore. If they think that after they did that, they would be kind of scared. But given that they already killed 4 American servicemen and now they try to do it again, to me suggests that they think that they're in it and there's no going back. Like to me, this shows, among many other things I'm seeing from the Islamic Republic, that the Islamic Republic thinks that there's no stopping what's about to happen, so they might as well not hold back. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
About those U.S. and Saudi airstrikes against Iran-backed Iraqi Shia militias overnight. He says those strikes were coordinated with the Iraqi government. He called these Iran-backed militias a cancer on the world and says he is considering additional warnings against Iranian proxies and their link to the Iranian regime. The president also talked about his meeting yesterday with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in the Oval Office. He says it was a great meeting, adding he understands now. It appears that the relationship between President Trump and the Israeli Prime Minister is strengthening. And again, the president called that meeting in the Oval great. In terms,
that's a huge sign. That's a huge sign. Both Prime Ministers.
I understand now.
Yes. What do you think that means? I understand. What does that mean?
I understand why you wanted to absolutely wipe them out back then.
I understand now. Holy crap, guys.
I understand why you want to wipe them out right now.
Oh my God, let's listen to that part again. One more time. I understand now.
Warnings against Iranian proxies and their link to the Iranian regime. The president also talked about his meeting yesterday with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in the Oval Office. He says it was a great meeting, adding he understands now. It appears that the relationship between President Trump and the Israeli Prime Minister is strengthening. And again, the president called that meeting in the Oval great. In terms of possible talks with the Iranian regime, the president says we're going to let them keep talking. Remember, the Iranians came to President.
We're going to
look at what it says below.
Let them keep
Look at what it says below.
Iran-backed militias are a cancer on the world. Yes. Great quote. That needs. What do you do with cancer? What do you do with cancer?
You have to kill it. You have to you have to eliminate it.
It spreads if you don't. It spreads if you don't. If you don't take it out, it spreads.
It makes more cells. It replicates itself into the cellular body. We know terrorists love cells.
He also just said that President Trump said that we're going to let them keep talking, meaning that the negotiations are there, but they don't mean much. They're just they're going to let them yapping. Like just because we're talking, it doesn't mean that we're not going to. This is just us allowing them to talk, right? Do you think that's the correct understanding? We're going to let them keep talking, don't worry about the negotiations. We're going to F them up.
Yes. Yes. I think they're going to have a bias towards believing that they're achieving something because they also have to tell their population that they're achieving something. It might lead to, sure, let them talk, but they're not going to release their full stockpile in a last-ditch effort suicide attack. Because if you tell them, hey, there's no chance, we're just going to wipe you off the map, we're coming on Sunday at 3, well, they're just going to say, all right, well, I'm going to launch everything I have at Israel. You understand what I'm saying? You don't want that. You want to let themselves believe that they're accomplishing something by letting them talk.
Great. Okay. That's, and also on top of, so letting them talk causes division, might provide them some false hope, also gets you some information.
Yes.
Why close that? Yes. Yeah. And we got 3 super chats. Fleshy saying nothing to say, waiting for the SHIT to hit the fan. Yeah, I think a lot of people are justifiably skeptical because of all their roller coaster up and down, and they don't want to get too optimistic and get disappointed. They just want to we're just going to wait and see what happens. What do you think?
Yes, I agree. Yes, I understand that some people are like, I want this to just happen. I'm not believing words. I don't trust words. Words mean nothing to me. I want to see it happen. And in that, I understand why. Well, salty is very much close to the sea, so I understand why he would be naturally salty. But this kind of situation is making him more salty. He may want to see more actual kinetic speaking instead of verbal speaking, and because
Mm.
actions, speak louder than words, and I think that's the kind of rhetoric he wants to hear: kinetic speech.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And I completely, get it why so many people are skeptical, and I'm skeptical as well. Cautiously optimistic, I would say. Cautiously optimistic. That would. Okay, so Karma Shift. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to read your super chat because we might get in trouble for that. So I'm not gonna highlight. I know you're joking around, but I know, and I know, no, you're not joking. I know the type of people you're referring to. Um, so those people do deserve that 100%. So let me just read it in a way that is YouTube friendly. Say, I mean, a good jihadi is like a dot 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 jihadi, right? And I know what you're talking about, and I'm just don't want to highlight it in case YouTube might think that we're saying something different. And I appreciate your super chat. Thank you. All right, let me unstar that. Okay, Bobo is in with a super chat saying, let BB be the badass finish the job. Yeah, well, okay, so the finishing the job would be the Americans, the Israeli, and the Iranian people together, and the final push would be by the Iranian people. But 100%, BB unleash BB upon the Islamic Republic. 100%, 100%.
Can I
I
just
think that they
comment
should.
on this for a second?
Yes, of course, of course.
I
you
have
can.
said for about a week, Israel is an ace in freedom's sleeve, right? We're not going
Yes.
to pull that ace out of the sleeve until we need it. Now, if you were going to play bingo and you want to play for the whole board, you're not just going to do big strikes or you're not going to just use 2 or 3 of those because you would burn the rest of the bingo card, right? You want to do them all at once. So you make sure you can get all of everyone on that bingo card, right? So why would you make Israel wait? It's like, no, when we go together, we take care of the whole bingo sheet, and we're gonna do it at the same time that we're hitting everything else, so they don't know that's what we're doing until after the rubble clears, after the smoke clears. So what if, and this is just a possibility, right? I don't want everybody to get too excited or angry at me if it doesn't happen. What if this meeting is about that? It's like, okay, BB, I understand now. We have to play bingo.
Yeah, I mean, that would explain. I mean, I don't think you're far off at all. I think because if BB is happy and Trump is happy, they probably are doing something together because Israel wants in. We know. We know Israel wants in, and they're happy about it. So they're probably okay. So here's a simple way of looking at it: Israel is happy. Trump is happy with BB. Israel will only be happy if they're if they're included in military operations coming soon. And if Israel is included in military operations coming soon, then the military operation is going to be big because Israel is not going to be involved in military operations that are like half done job.
My thought process is, why do I need Israel? Why do I need these people? Why do I need them? Oh, they know where the people that are important are and how to hit them. Okay,
Right.
that's why I need them. That's their purpose within my framework. Because if it's hitting stuff from the sky, I can do that all day. I don't need them for that. Why do I need Israel? I need Israel because I'm taking care of the bingo sheet. That's the only reason I would need them. That's the only reason I would have him come over and sit down with me. Because everything else I can do without them. Their
Yeah, so
intelligence,
guys,
I can't do anything without. I need him here for that.
yes. So for people who are new here, when Monkey says the bingo sheet is basically the list of all the highest officials of the Islamic Republic that need to go, that need to be eliminated. That's what he's talking about, right? And
I need to have a notebook where I have that link so I can just throw it every once in a while in the chat when it comes up as a topic.
Yeah. Oh, we got more super chats. Tao Fei with a super chat saying, "Hi, you all. The surprise is The surprise is to MSM. They think Bibi and Trump are fighting. Those two probably had a good laugh in the Oval Office, shook hands, and Trump said, "Keep it up." They haven't got a clue. Oh my God, people still like right now. If they were ever fighting, they're not. I mean, Trump doesn't hold back. If they're fighting, sometimes they're exaggerating, but if they're fighting, Trump is more honest than I think people think, in my opinion. And I think that right now, if they were ever fighting, it's not now, right?
Yep. No, I think that it like, like he's like, let me see how I can explain it. He's talking about how it was being framed. Like this is like more about that. Like how the MS how the news tried to exaggerate the rift.
Yeah. Yeah, MSM right now is the worst time for them to say that. And thank you, Toughy. Thank you so much for the super chat. And then Sticking Beans with a super chat saying, "What do you do with cancer? You cut it, you radiate it, and you chemically poison it." Okay. Durkas are cancer. You need to use all three of the above. Okay. Thank you.
Again, we're talking about medicine, and this is not medical advice, but
Yes.
things happen.
Yes. Talk to your doctor. If you have a Durka problem, talk to your doctor. Okay.
Talk to your doctor. Dr. Trump is in the house.
And look at this, Kevin celebrating us getting confetti, getting to our goal. Thank you so much, Kevin. You guys are awesome. And Amir with the super chat saying, "Already heard lying words, waiting for the action." Oh, okay. So Amir is not Amir. I think Amir is skeptical. Like he's saying maybe these are just lying words, right? He's like,
hey, that pressure can be good too.
Yep. Yeah. You know what? Even if people are pessimistic, I think you're right, Mikey. That's a very good way of pointing at it. We shouldn't. People who are like, nope, I don't believe you, make it happen. Even if they end up being wrong, I think it doesn't make sense after to say like, oh, you were wrong. I think that pressure is helpful. That pressure makes things happen. One great take, Mikey. Great take. Very positive take from you. All right, Amir, thank you so much for the super chat. And then Sticking Beans saying, "Free BB, unleash the Zion." Okay. Is that how we should say it? Yes. Thank you. Yeah. All right. And then we have Zipgun with a super chat saying, "It's important that I think you mean the other countries get IRGC blood on their hands. That way they can also claim victory and they are committed to the endeavor." Yes, because once you're in it, then the IRGC will see you as the enemy. And now once you're in, you have to be in all the way. That's a good point, Zipgun. That's a good point. Yeah, I think that's what United States wanted. You can't just sit back and make me go do these things. You have to commit. We need to see some commitment from you guys. You need to get your
I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this again. I don't want to be back here in a couple of years. You guys are gonna get along, or and I want to see you. I want to see your forces out there. I want to see you striking. I think that's what's going on.
Okay. Yes, let's go. There's so many good like this is like only a 3-minute videos, and there's so much amazing information in just these 3 minutes. So let's watch the rest of it.
Trump, after 13 straight days of U.S. bombing against Iran, asking to meet about the Strait of Hormuz and their broader nuclear ambitions. And those talks are taking place as we speak behind the scenes. And then this surprise attack launched against U.S. forces overnight. And again, President Trump telling Fox News, we are going to beat the effing S out of them, and that U.S. strikes will take place against Iran in response to this surprise attack overnight against U.S. forces in Jordan. Guys?
So what's intriguing, too, is we understand the previous attacks were with Saudi Arabia. This whole thing started with epic fury with Israel. Do you sense that there might be a comprehensive plan in place, or working on it that would involve Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, UAE, who at various times have taken unilateral action on their own, along with the IDF?
Ooh. along with the IDF. This would be the greatest taboo to break of all time. So we're going to see, along with the US is one thing, along with the IDF is another thing. We'll see.
It's absolutely possible because the Iranian plan here backfired. By attacking all of these Gulf countries, they built an informal coalition that is now targeting Iranian proxies in the region and even Iranian territory. And we saw that last night on display. Saudi Arabia publicly admitting that they are participating in strikes against Iranian proxies in Iraq alongside U.S. forces. And other countries in the Gulf have participated in limited capacity against the Iranians, targeting some of these coastal areas around the city of Bandar Abbas next to the Persian Gulf, where many of those U.S. strikes took place. And remember, when we spoke with President Trump earlier this year during Operation Epic Fury, he said he was most surprised by the fact that the Iranians were targeting these countries that were uninvolved, that were not striking Iran at the time. And so, again, what Iran has done here by targeting these Gulf countries is actually building this informal coalition that is now being used to pressure the Iranian regime. The question remains if these talks will lead to some sort of agreement. But again, President Trump tells Fox News there will be a U.S. response to this surprise attack overnight against U.S. forces in Jordan.
Trey Ying's just getting off the phone.
So look at this. Monkey, you mentioned this, right? A lot of people are posting this and talking about it. President Trump's so close to Princess of Pahlavi in Lindsey Graham's funeral. So President Trump over here, Princess of Pahlavi over there. During the funeral, Princess of Pahlavi didn't make any attempt to walk towards President Trump, and neither, or vice versa. But what are the chances of them have meeting? What do you think is the chances that they've met in the background?
I would put it between 20 and 30. Directly, them two sitting down and talking, 20 to 30. It's a possibility. At this point in time, what I would want Hegseth talking to. That's who I want talking to the prince. I want Hegseth talking to him. I don't need the president to talk to him. I don't need to make this political. He has to disclose his schedule. Trump has to. He has to tell, yeah, I met this guy. Hegseth doesn't have to do that, as far as I know. Like, he may have to, but for some certain things that are directly tied to military operations, he doesn't have to. You might have someone that's just like a CIA spook come over, sit with us, meet in some other place. You understand what I'm saying? The president himself right now, I don't think so. Like, I wouldn't say it's impossible. I put it 20 to 30, maybe 35. I wouldn't go as high as 40. Why? Because people talk. The president has to usually disclose any talks he's having with any type of person that is or might become a dignitary, a head of state. So I wouldn't risk that. I would, if I was Pahlavi, I wouldn't want that unless I was asked. Unless the president wants to come to me, I wouldn't try to go to him. I would be completely open to talking to his military staff. I'd be completely open to help out in any way that I can. But it wouldn't be politically or strategically wise to openly in the public or try to do something behind closed meetings that in the long run will be known, because it could taint the people. I think around the world, people do not understand this base instinct that Americans have since 1776 to not impose a leader on anyone. Like, it has to be chosen by the people, right? So if we try to put a person in, number one, the times that we have kind of, had anything that even looked like that, it hasn't turned out well for us. And it goes against our base fundamental values in creating this nation. So I think it'll be more organic, but from a military standpoint, I would have my people meet with him. Absolutely. That I put like at 90 to 95, maybe 99. Like, I don't think there's a chance that he didn't talk to people from the military standpoint. I don't think there's a chance that they didn't talk.
Military would be the best to talk to, you think?
Yes, because if we're about to do something big, the only person that might know our Tesh people that are high up that we can kind of count on would be him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if I want to start, okay, we need to get our Tesh on the table. If they're going to be on board, if they're going to be a force for good, if they're going to become what they were under the old Shah, if they're going to be the defenders of the people against the IRGC, we need them. We need to know where they are, who they are. We need to vet them. We need to see how we can, we need to know. We need these lists. We need to know who we're working with. We need to be able to take the good ones off the bad guy list.
Okay, let's see. We all enjoyed Jesse Waters' his summary of things. So let's watch this and see if we get anything, any takes that we want to comment on.
Fox News alert: the mullahs may have broken the ceasefire, but Trump's giving peace another chance in Iran. After dropping bombs for 2 straight weeks, the president's taking his finger off the trigger. The bombing campaign was a major success. CENTCOM Commander Admiral Brad Cooper told Trump we're out of targets to hit along the coastline. And
so this is recent, but it's right before the escalation.
Since we sent our B-1 bombers to redecorate, the mullahs are playing ball for now.
Iran took a beating over the last 14 days, and they asked us very nicely, please stop, let's meet. And that's what we are right now. We'll see what happens. If we don't make a deal, we go back to the same thing.
The markets are liking it. A barrel of sweet crude dropped over 9%, but the peace is tenuous. Trump told Axios he's ready for strong military action if negotiations fail. So the mullahs better put pen to paper. 47 wants a deal done fast or not at all. If they string us along like they have been, Trump sees it as nothing gained, nothing lost, and we'll just go right back to bombing. He never wanted his finger off the trigger.
The president likes the daily attacks. He believes that sometimes you have to kill a few chickens to scare the monkeys.
More firepower arrives.
Oh, no! Monkey! What do you have to say for yourself?
Let it play.
Okay. Look at this. I'm offended on behalf of you. I like this guy. Why did he say that? Look at this. Okay, if you didn't hear it, brace yourself. This is not good. Brace yourself.
Gain, nothing lost. And we'll just go right back to bombing. He never wanted his finger off the trigger.
The president likes the daily attacks. He believes that sometimes you have to kill a few chickens to scare the monkeys.
More.
Yes, this is true. If you kill my chicken, I'm going to be horrified. Like don't
This
please
is
don't kill my
racist
chicken.
against monkeys.
No. This is just a fact.
Okay.
If you don't kill anyone's chicken, imagine someone kills your chicken and you're like, who the hell did this? This might even work on humans. Who killed my chicken? Who the hell? I have a chicken. Was it a fox got in here? Are there coyotes? Is there a wolf? What's going on? Who killed? I mean, this is a little bit more universal than it's being laid out here. Like, I would be horrified. Just think about it. Just you go to bed normal, you come back up, someone killed your chickens. It's, oh my god, it's horrifying. Yes, sometimes you got to do it though.
Okay. All right.
More firepower arrives in theater every night. Something big could be happening.
It's also acting as a staging operation for the U.S. military. Each and every night, there are cargo planes landing in the region with ammunition and supplies. Some of those supplies are for defense and others for offense. But the bottom line here, the Trump administration is poised if the president decides to launch this large-scale campaign against Iran in the days or weeks ahead.
Now Trump's drawing up the most sophisticated operation in history. The mission: snatch Iran's enriched uranium right out of their nuclear facilities. The targets are locked. We could also be going into Pickaxe Mountain, Maduro style. Thousands of special operation forces would be sent out on a seek and destroy mission, secure a perimeter, dig out the tunnels, navigate the booby traps, and pull out the centrifuges. Special operation forces could include SEAL Team 6 Silver Squadron and the 2nd Ranger Battalion. We've already seen Trump move the pieces into play. A ground assault could come at any moment.
I think the real options they may be preparing now for is boots on the ground to really show the Iranian people that we're moving to the end of this government in Iran. So I think the president's preparing to go the full way on this, and that's why part of this break in the effort, position forces and be prepared to go to the next step of escalation.
Be sure to like and...
Do you agree with that? Do you think President Trump is getting ready for boots on the ground?
Well, this is the guy that used to live in Iran, right?
Yes.
I already held that view, but yeah, I agree with him. Like, not only that, you're hearing it from someone that knows both how the military works and how Iran works. Like, he has experience. He can read some of the intel reports in Persian that we don't usually get into. One, because he, even if it's open source, he might know where they are and we don't. Two, they're in Persian, so like very few of us have that combined knowledge and the time to delve through it. So I believe he might be hearing also from people inside that would trust him with information that's maybe not top secret, but also not public. You understand what I'm saying? Like I could
Mm.
tell you something that's not secret, but not public. And he could have that kind of connections where they could talk to him on things, maybe even on purpose, like, hey, you should know this, you should know that. It's not secret, but no one else knows it, so you got an exclusive. You understand what I'm saying? So I would generally, he has been, just also, if you look at the pattern, he has been very reliable in his reporting, so I agree.
Okay. Wow, my God, stuff is happening. And here's another 30-second video before I read the super chats that might suggest that stuff is happening. Look at this.
Well, I don't need Bibi to tell me that. Bibi's telling me that because he wants me to stay involved. I mean, I don't necessarily. We have the finest, because of Space Force, we have the greatest cameras in the world focused on. We know exactly what's going on. But no, I heard Bibi announce that. I said, why didn't you just tell it to me? Why do you have to announce it to the world? I know exactly what's going on at Pickaxe. It's not a big problem. We took out their nuclear sites, and we'll have to take out Pickaxe if we don't make a deal. If we don't make a deal, we'll take it out very easily. Well, I don't.
So you're saying Pickaxe is not that big of a deal?
Well,
He's gonna.
I don't know how to interpret that. How could, okay, so what would make you say it's not a big deal? I know what would make me say it's not a big deal. I can go first if you want, but would you like to tell us what would make you think it's not a big deal?
Well, I mean, I actually misrepresented him. I'm sorry. He said we know how to take care of it, so that's my fault. I should.
Okay.
Let me replay it again. Yeah, let me replay it.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
But
Sorry. about
okay, let's, even if he had said it's not a big deal, I would think it's not a big deal if I already know we're doing different stuff and we're going in and we're doing other things. I'll say it's not a big deal. We know how to take care of it. We got plans for it, right? And we're gonna use like different versions of the same, idea here. Like, they got a plan.
Okay, fantastic. So because my if this is true, that means that our understanding of Pickaxe Mountain, I mean, at least mine, was incorrect. That bunker busters are not enough. That, or ground special forces going there. I don't know what they're planning, but is it that straightforward? Because the way that we talked about it is that there are multiple options. You go bunker buster after bunker buster and keep digging until you destroy the whole thing. That is, we thought that might be difficult because of the way that the mountain is structured over there, and it will refill it once you do the first bunker buster. Then we said tactical nukes. We said that's not on the table. We said special forces going on to Pickaxe Mountain, finishing the job over there. We said that will put American soldiers at such a great risk. There will be casualties because they have to be there over multiple dark periods. Like, it's not going to be like in and out like Venezuela, where they're in and out. They have to stay there. It will be very difficult to defend them. We talked about a deal, which seemed very, not impossible, but difficult to get because Islamic Republic, that would be devastating to them. Like, that would basically destroy their legitimacy more than it has even right now. Again, not impossible, but seems very difficult, and we don't want that anyways. Even if they say yes, that's the worst option, as Monkey usually writes to remind us. And therefore, we said the only option is regime change to fix this, right? But if President Trump is saying so, again, we have to also understand that the ability of the bunker busters and how deep they could go is a secret. Like, people try to guess based on the available information, but maybe they could go deeper than people realize, right? But you know more about this, Monkey, so I'll let you tell me what you think is true. Like, what do you think that when President Trump's saying that we know how to handle it, what is he talking about?
I think this is kind of smoke and mirrors. I don't think we're going to do like a great deal about it right now. I think we have other fish frying. So letting everyone think we have to go do something about pickaxe right now would just be a distraction. Look, this would be the most difficult operation ever. Going into an underground facility like that, you're almost guaranteed a lot of losses. Like, I believe one Delta is worth, I don't know, 10, 20 hypersonic missiles just economically. And on top of that, the loss of life, the loss, to their families is incalculable. So I don't think that we're gonna do that. I don't think we're gonna land people there. I also talked to Jeff a little bit about this. He pretty much said what I'm saying, but he said it better. Like, I could see the possibility. I could see that we could do this, but the cost to benefit analysis does not play out well. Not at this point. Now, if we're talking about going in there after we have basically a transitional government and we have a deal and we have legal permission to go in here, it would still be incredibly dangerous. But we would go in with our Tesh, and our Tesh would give the people in there a chance to surrender, and they would be speaking their language. And they would say, look, we were like you, we were forced. All right. I know you're not some high level Durka. I know you're not some high level IRGC. We are the Artesh. We will serve the nation, and we will allow you to surrender. You're not gonna die. We're not gonna kill you. The Americans are here with us, but they're not demons, and they're not gonna kill you either. Actually, the IRGC would maybe prefer to surrender to the SEALs than to the Artesh. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God! To the Iranian people. To the Iranian people. Yes, you're right.
No. But I'm saying, if you're IRGC, who do you think is going to kill you?
The Iranian people.
They're going to kill you?
Well, the Iranian people are going to tear you apart if they get their hands on you. And you're
okay. So you'd rather surrender to the U.S. At least they'll put you on trial and then kill you after a trial.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yes, 100%. Surrender to the Americans, or
you're
surrender.
Two options. Look, come with us. Go with the Americans, or or fight it out to the death.
Yes. Oh, somebody, Lior is saying, do the Iranians have the guts to kill? Oh my God, yes. Oh, sometimes, yeah, a lot. Look, the judge is saying there's no problem in this broken world that can't be solved by a good ceasefire. It's very salty, I think, today. Right? We've got some super chats that we need to respond to. Zipgun is giving us a super chat saying, Monkey, U.S. must press for elections in Venezuela. Oh, Monkey, what do you think about that?
I think they just had an election. I think it was in May. Let me check for you. Let me see here. May 25th, I think it was. May 25th, yes. Oh my God, I had it here a minute ago. Yes. It was widely seen as rigged, like it's still rigged. There needs to be more oversight, but here's the problem. Who is overseeing? The Carter Center. What do you think about Jimmy Carter? Okay, European Union. Government approved observers, domestic observers. Right. So these are all leftists. Every organization that is helping tell you that it was a fair and balanced election is leftist, like incredibly leftist, incredibly pro Maduro, incredibly pro socialism. These are the observers. All right. That's who and what did they say? They said it was fraudulent, that it was completely fraud. Like, okay, this is the leftist one, and the leftist observers said the leftists cheated. So I think when it comes to the next election that they have coming up, they will probably need oversight, and I think they let them have one of their elections on their own. Okay, we took your Maduro. Oh, okay, so even if we take your Maduro, you're still gonna fuck with elections. I guess we're gonna have to like deal with that next. because it doesn't even matter if you get rid of Maduro, but they can still cheat in the elections.
Okay, let's go to the next super chat. Stick and Beans with a super chat saying, do you want to read this one? I don't know. Prophet Bob Marley. Oh, this is some cultural reference.
Okay, let me see. The Rasta prophet Bob Marley has a song about the Iron Lion from Zion. I see this song almost as a prophecy. Free the lion from Zion. Let the son of Iran rise.
Ooh.
And their lions roar too. Amen. Iron Lion Zion. I have to look at the lyrics again, but I do love that song.
I love the fact that I love how the Iran has a lion and sun, and Israel has also the lion and the lion of Zion. Basically, there's so many imagery. But when it comes to the Iranian people and the Israelis bonding, the two lions next to each other is something that I see in a lot of people's profile pictures and images, like they're having the two lions. Here's an image. Let me show you this. Stick and Beans. Look at this. Persian lion, the lion of Judah next to each other. So the lion and sun and the lion of Judah. Two lions, one history. You like that? I like that.
Very nice.
Very nice. Okay, let me go back to here. And then we got another super chat by Channel 0071 say, now you understand 10 bridges, plants, IRGC, apartment buildings. You know what? You say bridges. I have a video for that. You want bridges? Here's President Trump talking about bridges. Here, I have the video for that. I got exactly, thank you for the reminder, Channel 007. I got exactly what you need. Here, let's see what here.
Go back and finish up the job as some people would like with the bridges, with the very easy. I could take out most of their bridges in less than an hour. But, it takes them 10 years to build a bridge. Bridges take the longest, and power plants are second. I can knock out the power plants. Within one day, all of their power plants would be gone. And I let them know that, with negotiations. I said, look, people want me to do that. I think I get almost the same thing out of it as doing it. But the problem is they'll never be able to, I think about 91 million people without power, without bridges, would have to live. And it's a very, very delicate balance. Yeah. So I think we have a very strong position right now. They know I'm going to do that if they don't make a deal. The bridges are going to be gone. Literally in less than, I would say in 2 hours, most of the bridges, the major bridges will all be gone. And the power plants in one day. And, if I can avoid doing that, I'd like to do that. The hardest thing to build is a power plant. The longest thing to build is a bridge.
I really do appreciate how much President Trump is trying to avoid at the same, there's two sides to this. A lot of people are like, oh my, I know it takes a long time to build, but if you need to do this to get rid of the Islamic Republic, let's just go. We could rebuild all of this. But also, I also appreciate how much he cares about. I know we get frustrated because it means that things are going to take longer, but it comes from a good place. I think it comes from not wanting to cause the Iranian people a lot of harm, right? Is that your understanding as well?
Well, I think there's critical assets that we may use. Let's say, again, if I am going to destroy the IRGC, say they don't have control of their government, they're not a real government. I'm going to have a transitional government for a couple of weeks, start from the south, take 3 cities, and then keep rolling up. There's stuff that I might need. And I'm not going to hit the stuff that I need.
Monkey, in your 5x5, are bridges and power plants included? Wouldn't it make more sense to just go out and hit so many other things before we try bridges and power plants? Are there enough things that would just basically cripple the Islamic Republic before we see if we have to try bridges and power plants, or no?
That's why he's saying, you get it. That's exactly it. Why are we going to go after bridges and power plants if the plan isn't to leave the regime crippled? If the plan is to rebuild after we eliminate them, then we just hit military targets and roll in. We don't need to hit bridges and power plants
We don't
if
need to.
what we're doing is basically a humanitarian mission once the IRGC is destroyed to help aid in the humanitarian mission to let the Iranian people reorganize their government.
That makes a lot of sense. I hope that's the plan is. Dajjal is very salty today. Being sarcastic here, he's saying instead of blowing up bridges, perhaps you should try giving them another ceasefire. So Dajjal is very salty. Okay, what do you think? There people are upset. They're like
Or
ceasefire is about to
as an alternative, blowing up Durkas.
Yes, right.
Bingo, Durkas.
I think a lot of people are gonna lose it if there's another ceasefire coming. Like the chat is gonna be like, "We know it, ceasefire again. Why?" Do you think another ceasefire is coming around the corner?
No.
Like
I thought. Listen, like remember last week when I said, look, maybe there's gonna be a like 1 week, an attempt at a 1 week ceasefire. And they tried that and they couldn't even get that to work.
Yeah.
Like I said, okay, maybe they're not gonna do it because they're doing these other things. But it turned out that I was right. They were going for like a short little ceasefire, and that just completely fell apart. So I don't think they can.
Yeah, I mean, this is why. So you're right. They tried, and this is why they couldn't make it work. Hold on, watch this.
We have a blockade that's so powerful that nobody can get through. They tried. 3 or 4 of them tried over the last week. But, we opened the blockade because we had the confines of a deal. So we did it. And then we put it back because they broke the deal. They break the deal. We cannot have them break deals anymore. Right. We have a...
So because they keep breaking the deal, like you keep trying, you keep giving them more chances, you keep giving them ceasefire, and they keep breaking it. Why even talk to them, though? I guess I know why, but why give them another chance? You know what these people are like, right? Speaking of people
there are reasons, but not past our achieving the MOU escrow and taking their money. After we took their money and we established in law that they have to abide by rules, after that we don't really need any more ceasefires.
Yes. Somebody's saying, Jennifer's saying, I think Monkey said they mess it up by Thursday. Yes. And they do.
Yeah. No, but they kind of messed it up immediately.
Yeah.
They didn't wait too long.
Right.
I'd like to correct an error on my part. Okay, so usually the UN, the EU, and the Carter Institute go monitor, but the last election, this last one this year, not the one with Maduro, the one with Maduro, they all said was fake, right? All the leftists said it was fake, that Maduro lost. The new one, the one in 2025, was so BS that even the UN, the EU, the Carter Center, they didn't even participate in monitoring. They said, we're not going to even try. This is going to be a fake election, so we're not even going to do any. We're not legitimizing this on the world stage as an actual election. That's what happens with the one that happened in May 2025 in Venezuela. No one believes it was real. So, I can't say there were gains, but they tried it. I think the next one that they'll actually get into will be the presidential election. And that's where we'll see organized oversight from the US and other entities.
Look at this. Prime Minister Netanyahu saying he was happy with the meeting and things are looking good.
I don't think the world's seen anything like it. And, you met with the president today.
Yeah.
How'd that meeting go?
It was great. It was one of the best meetings that we've had. And I always hate to disappoint our would-be.
Wait. I want to hear that laughter. Oh my God, look at this. This makes
he couldn't
me so
hold
happy.
back the laughter. He was just like, oh, it was so good.
This was the best one. Oh my God, this makes me optimistic.
I don't think the world's seen anything like it. And, you met with the president today.
Yeah.
How'd that meeting go?
It was great. It was one of the best meetings that we've had. And I always hate to disappoint our would-be critics who are trying to find, cracks in our alliance. And what they find, like today, is a wall of granite, because the president is so clear. I mean, we have a common commitment. We don't want to see this fanatic regime in Tehran have nuclear weapons to threaten every American and to threaten the peace of the world and to threaten the existence of Israel. So we have a common goal, and it's going to be achieved either through diplomatic means or other means. But we're both committed to that, and that's the main headline that I would tell you from this meeting.
Do you believe?
Yeah, no diplomatic means. I think he knows there's no diplomatic way to solve this. 100%. We got.
I mean, they have met a lot, so making this the best one. Hey.
Yeah. Then this being the best one to me suggests that they agree on something big. How do you respond to the super chat by Sticking Beans saying Trump can't have His Royal Highness as leader? Trump can't have His Royal Highness Prince Reza Pahlavi as leader. Turkey, Qatar, Saudi, and all Durkas tell him, nay, no IRGC is bad business for USA. He must have bad IRGC weekend. I don't understand the second part. Do you understand the second part? Do you understand this?
Wait, let me try to. Okay, Trump can't have Pahlavi as a leader. Tell him nay. Like these people say no. And no IRGC, like the lack of an IRGC is bad business for USA. He must have a bad IRGC, a weakened IRGC. No, this is like literal financially false because of the cost that the IRGC does to the US because of the instability that it brings to the markets. Right? This we don't need. Like this happens with a lot of people that they think that most of America's income comes from weaponry, and this is like a dumb conspiracy that makes mathematically no sense. Like he may be joking, that may be a joke, but there is a mathematical lie that most of Americans' financial wealth and stability comes from selling weapons. So we must keep wars in different areas so we can sell weapons as if that were most of our income, and that's not true. I understand, like as a joke, like some people might say this is something like Tucker Carlson would say, Candace Owens would say. I don't think even Nick would say this, but maybe he would. I don't know, since he's became Shlomo Nick Fuentes, I don't know. But I don't think Turkey, Qatar, and Saudis have that much influence. And there is a reason we can't put him in charge is because we can't put anybody in charge. It has to be the people who choose. We can have a transitional government to help them make an election.
Yeah. So let me now that I understand it, let me actually respond as well. Trump can't have His Royal Highness as leader. Okay, so the reason you were giving is these countries are telling him no. I don't think these countries have a lot of influence in Washington, D.C., but they don't have complete control. The influence should be taken seriously, but I think U.S. interest is whatever is in the best interest of the U.S. will eventually come on top, even with these countries' influence, right? There's too much, like these countries, their influence is in billions of dollars. U.S. economy being U.S. geopolitics, economy making the right moves is in the effects of that for the U.S. is in the trillions of dollars. So we shouldn't ignore the billions of dollars of influence from these countries, but we shouldn't also overestimate it, because when it comes to the size of the U.S. economy, there's trillions of dollars at stake here. So the influence is big, important, but not absolute complete control. Right? And then the second part says no IRGC is bad business for USA. Monkey had a really good response. So the military industry in the US and the oil industry are the only two industries in the United States that might benefit from increased conflict. The US economy is so many different industries, the tech industries, the tourism industry, all of those industries. So war is good for two industries, and it's bad for every other industry. And those other industries are so much bigger than the weapons industry and the oil and the energy industry. So the energy industry and the weapons industry is a segment, of the entire U.S. and global economy. So everybody else, almost everybody else, suffers from war, and IRGC causes instability. Instability means risk. Risk is not good for business. Risk is not good for business. Risk is bad for business. Risk means that the present value of your future cash flows are lower today, right? So he must have IRGC weekend. So yeah, IRGC weekend is actually more dangerous. So there's three situations: strong IRGC, weak IRGC, no IRGC. Weak IRGC is actually the worst for business, because it's like a corner dog that bites. So the weak IRGC is actually the worst for business, worst for cash flows, worst for making money. The best for business is no IRGC. So if you're looking at it from a purely economic perspective, then no IRGC is better than a weak IRGC.
This is also a misunderstanding between there's a big difference between military spending and military commerce. Like, if we just wanted to sell weapons, we wouldn't help hit the Houthis. We just sell weapons to Saudi Arabia till they figure out how to use them. Like, this is a huge disparity, because people look at military spending and they say, aha, we spend all our money selling guns. No. Those are private. Northrop is not on the column of military spending. They're a whole different company. They may get some money from there, but military spending is not the same as Northrop. It's not the same as Lockheed. These are two different industries. If you're going to take Lockheed Martin, if you're going to take Boeing and just their military profits, if you're going to take Northrop and Grumman and just their military side, that is not the same as looking at our military spending. Our military spending also costs us gasoline. It costs us salaries. It costs us the medical bills of the soldiers. It costs the pensions of the servicemen that retired. Like, the military budget, people look at that and say, oh, that's why they go to war so much, because it's so profitable. No. Like, most of aerospace R&D is huge. Yeah, and who does that? Elon Musk. Elon Musk, from his private company to try to get satellites so he can sell Starlink, is doing so much of our aerospace that what the stuff that Artemis is doing now pales in comparison. Yeah, it's got a lot of high tech, but the amount of money that they have to spend to get one Artemis out and around, I think Elon could have done it cheaper if they just asked him. Because it's not understanding the math of economics. It's a complete misunderstanding on how economics work to think that we need global wars. This costs us way more money. We would have more money. We would be more profitable if we didn't have to spend our money going fighting Houthis and having to deal with the Strait.
Yes, 100%. 100%. Elaine, celebrating 6 months of membership. Thank you so much, Elaine, for being with us here for 6 months. Saying, just wanted to say thank you. I want to say thank you back at you, Elaine, for being by our side for being part of our group for 6 months. I appreciate that. And then we got Stick and Beans saying, let me explain. USA, well, you know what? I agree with this. Let me explain. USA doesn't want China and Russia take over for being the big power and influence in the Middle East. Exactly. And if the IRGC is there, in fact, you know who wants a weak IRGC? China and Russia. China and Russia don't want a strong IRGC. They want a weak IRGC that they could basically use as, because and this is why US's priority should be no IRGC. Okay. Strong IRGC is not just bad for the United States, but it's also something, if it's too strong, then it can't be used as a puppet by Russia and China. Russia and China want a weak IRGC because it's an IRGC that needs Russia and China, so they takes orders from Russia and China. But they want a weak IRGC that they could use against U.S. interests. So, and U.S. would not like a weak IRGC is the best tool as a proxy of Russia and China against United States, and the best option for United States is no IRGC. But that's
I was
correct.
about to say that no IRGC is the best option. But you know what? Even in our misunderstanding of his previous super chat, we did get a good discussion about some of the misconceptions that are out there about how the military profit and budget work. So you know what? Even though I apologize if we did misunderstood your first super chat, but understand that it went to good use.
Right. Perfect. And then we got Fleshy Interloper with a super chat say Quincy is publishing for North Korea, Iran in disguise. Yeah, Quincy Institute is garbage, right? It's basically Trita Parsi, Nayak, all of the anti-American. It's basically an anti-American think tank lobby group, for sure.
It's a Durka
Thank
Institute.
you. Durka Institute, exactly. So let's go to this, another point that Prime Minister Netanyahu brought up, and then we'll go back to the super chat.
Do you believe there are moderates that would like a deal and a better Iran?
Well, I'm skeptical about the deal, and I say it openly, but the only way it would be achieved is if Iran understood these various factions. I think they're not ideological factions as much as they differ on the assessment of how tough we are. That's it. You know, those who think that the president is very tough, and they should, you know, they say, let's not confront this guy. And those who think, no, you know, we can play America, you know, they tend to be, you know, they tend to be more demanding. But I think in the end, it's our resolve. It's our common resolve to make sure that Iran doesn't get nuclear bombs to threaten every American with. And I think the president is absolutely straight on this. And I really deeply respect him for that.
So let me translate what I think he's saying, like, which is true. The different parts of the Islamic Republic, where you say moderate hardliners, like he's saying their differences is not in their goals. Their differences is not in their ideology. Their differences is in the strategy, like the way they think that they should get to those goals. They all have the same ideology. They have the same goal. There's a difference of tactic based on what they think, what their assessment of their enemy is. But that's it, right? That's what I think he was saying.
Well, I would say the reformers would destroy the world with 100 Wuhans, and the hardliners are stuck on nuclear. They still want to destroy the world.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, they say it. They believe in the Mahdi, and they believe in the Mahdi that at the end of time is going to come and take over the whole world and make the whole world Shia, and they don't hide that. They don't hide that.
And they're like, well, what do you mean COVID? Go to the temple. Go to the mosque. What are you afraid? What are you, a life lover? Well, you don't need no stinking vaccine. Go over there and wash your dirty feet in the rose water with everybody else. It's not going to give you COVID. I thought you had faith. You have no faith now, life lover. Like they don't care about disease.
Right. So I need to use the washroom, guys. If you're new here, we are not fans of Nick Fuentes. We like to listen.
Oh, Guy is.
Okay,
I did a whole special on him this morning, just loving him.
I know. I'm just okay. No, okay. Let's not go into that because I don't want to have to explain that. Okay, but he's our ideological enemy, right, guys? Like we hate him. He's like a Jew hater. The reason why we listen to him is because we want to see the people who are against us. What are their take on the current war in Iran against the Islamic Republic? Okay, and I'm still listening. I just need to use the washroom while I'll play this. Is that okay, Monkey? I'll be right back.
Perfect.
Just a few seconds. Okay, I'll play this. I'll be right back.
Trump has got to be furious about this. Trump unilaterally stood down on Saturday. Trump is begging Iran for negotiations. And in the midst of this, Iran is now bringing the fight to us, offensively attacking Jordan. Consider the position that Trump is in. Trump has to make a decision, as we've talked about throughout the conflict, whether to escalate to victory, escalate to achieve our strategic objectives, which would entail ground operations on the islands to force the Strait of Hormuz open, to take away Iran's bargaining chip so that we can impose terms on them or extract concessions. That's option number one. Option two is de-escalate and effectively total surrender. Iran imposes their terms on us. We're going to have to move our bases out of the Persian Gulf region. We're going to have to be pushed further away from Iran, our military positions. We may have to unfreeze Iranian assets. We're going to have to let Iran control the strait, formally or de facto. Those are the two options. This is the decision that Trump is faced with. And in the middle of this decision, choosing whether to escalate the military action or de-escalate and leave the region, Iran is provoking Trump, disrespecting him, embarrassing him by attacking the United States and Jordan after we unilaterally stood down, ostensibly as a gesture of goodwill. Trump is going to be furious, and Trump is going to retaliate very hard against Iran. It would be
Wow, not even Nick Fuentes is supporting the Islamic Republic anymore. So, like, even Nick Fuentes thinks like it's justified to now bomb these people.
Did you catch
Even
the first
Nick
lie? The
What?
first lie was real sneaky. It was real sneaky. He said, now Iran strikes offensively. Like they ever struck defensively. All they do is offense.
Yeah. I'm it's like, Monkey, I'm gonna punch you in the face. It's gonna be a defensive punch. I don't understand.
Oh,
Yeah.
and
This
by the
was-
way, well, you know, I've never seen you in person. We've never met. I've never done anything to
Yes.
you. But yeah, that's completely defensive. Defensive first strike.
But what do you think about the fact that he is he's now coming out and saying, like, yeah, like we need to, like, he kind of suggesting that if Trump is reacting to them hard now is justified, because he's usually on the other side. He's usually like, get out of there, like, and he also supports the Islamic Republic and hitting Israel. But now he's furious. He's a big fan of the Islamic Republic, right? But now he's furious with them, like he's angry with them. So
what
guys,
he's
look at
doing, and
Go on,
he's
sorry.
framing. What he's doing is framing, right? If you want to know what he's doing, he's looking at what's obvious and he's reframing the why, right? Like they'll say, oh, we have to make a deal. We went to them begging for a deal. We didn't retaliate as a sign that we really, really, really want a deal, right? And that's why we didn't strike them. And because they're not giving us that option, now we have to do ground operations because they're not giving us that option. Like he's talking all about things that are very possibly coming up, but he is framing them in a way that makes it look, that supports his narrative.
Yeah. But look what you did. Islamic Republic, even Nick Fuentes is upset with you. You gone too far. The regime, you're gone too far. You know you've gone too far when even Nick Fuentes thinks you went too far. That's how bad you are.
Okay, but let's look at the larger frame. The larger frame is that Trump should not have gone in, that he should have stayed out of it. And now that he got into it, he's going to be forced into land operation, as he said.
Yes. Guys, that's not what Monkey thinks if you're new here. He's basically framing it from Nick Fuentes' perspective.
Yeah, I think it had to be done. I think it should have been the goal from the start. And I think it's a great thing that we're doing land operations. If it was, you know what? I'm going to be fucking real. I hear a lot of people, I don't want boots on the ground. I don't want boots on the ground. I don't give a shit. I don't give a fucking shit. We've been dealing with these people for fucking 47 years. I would drop 500,000 soldiers into Iran without batting an eye.
Wow. So it like Iraq style?
Yeah, I think Iraq was less than that. I would put double.
Yeah, Iraq, the first ground invasion that made Saddam fall was 300,000 around.
So 6. I said 5. My bad, 6. 600,000.
double. Okay. So, but what do you? How would you say, like, okay, but the American people don't want that, and even if you don't give a fuck, well, the American voters do, and shouldn't, like, that would be politically very unpopular.
I don't give a shit.
What would
I'm
you
the
say to
commander
that?
in chief. You elected me to do this. You might not agree with it later, but you agreed that for the next 4 years I'm in charge. I'm fucking doing this. And you know what? If I have that kind of force, I will have the transitional government in power in about a month, and I'll be able to roll back very rapidly. But if I'm pussyfooting around, it's going to take longer.
And within the structure of your, do you know this better than I do? Is it like, if the American citizens are very, very upset about this and they don't want this, the commander of chief, he could do whatever he will be able in that 4 years? There's no way stopping him.
Well, there's no way stopping it. If my plan was to stay forever, that would be a problem. If my plan is to have an invasion that takes every land, air, and sea combatant out, so I can turn over the reins of power to the transitional government, and I leave, they can't do shit, because by the time they would be able to even get something done, I already left.
Okay. All right, let's continue.
Like, imagine the Maduro raid a little bit longer and 600,000 people.
A lot of people like your plan. People are like, let's go, monkey. Do you see
A lot
that?
of the people that are against boots on the ground didn't serve. They got a family member that serves. Who gives a shit? If you ask that family member, he'll probably tell you, shut the fuck up. I'm the one who signed. Aunt, auntie, uncle, mom, dad, did you sign or did I sign? This is what I want. But I don't want boots on the ground. Well, bitch, don't go.
Okay. Well, let me continue with this.
I was
My
aggressive. I
expectation.
don't want the chat to feel like that was
He's
at them. I'm just getting it out of my system. No one here should.
No. The chat likes it when you're aggressive. The chat likes it.
Oh, all right. Hey, I went to chat.
Yes. Yeah, as long as they don't think like they're being aggressive at them, they like it. And yeah, monkey's being just let the monkey chimp out. Let the monkey chimp out. Okay.
Going to retaliate. And I would imagine also this might even be the trigger that pushes us to go the extra mile and maybe even go for the islands. This is not going to go unanswered. Trump is going to hit him very hard. But the question is, does that then play into Iran's trap? So far, bombing Iran has not produced any effect. We hit them very intensely in the opening stages of the war. It had no effect at all on Iran. No effect at all on Iran's ability to suppress shipping in the Strait, let's say.
I mean, it kind of did, though. It kind of did. And also, it also showed that they don't have any ability to do a meaningful response, which has humiliated the regime within Iran. I mean, Monkey, would you say it had no effect on the Islamic Republic's ability to do anything in southern Iran?
I believe it's not enough to make a difference in the long term of everything, and I would be upset if they just took the islands. If they just took the islands, I would consider that a disaster. I want them to take the islands, take 3 cities, and keep rolling up. Like, this needs to get finished. They need to carpet bomb. Well, not carpet bomb, but strategically bomb every target that needs to get bombed, and start taking cities. I don't want the islands. The islands are useless to me if it just leads to a status quo in which we control the islands, but the IRGC is still in charge in the north.
Okay, but would you agree that, I kind of disagree with Nick Fuentes that the bombardments, I agree with what you're saying, but I disagree with the idea that the bombardments had no effect on the Islamic Republic's ability. I think it has significantly reduced their ability, like taking out their basically their many of their missiles, a reduction in their supply, missile stockpile. That must have an impact, no?
Well, that's not okay. I think he's talking about the reports that say we can't hit anymore and make a difference unless we're doing a different kind of operation. Like, for the type of operation where we're handling the Strait, we already hit everything we had to hit. Like that's a report that's out. Like that didn't I didn't come up with this. I saw the report on it. I think it was on Fox. Like we have basically exhausted targets, so we can't bomb anymore and make a difference, at least on the south.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah,
would need to
from
be a
now
different
on-
operation.
Yeah, for 100%, you're correct. From now on, the effects are going to be less, but what has already been done has weakened the Islamic Republic. I think he's
Yes,
lying
but you're
over
looking
here.
at it from the I look at Nick Fuentes every once in a while. He's talking to an audience that sees him every day, so he knows. Like he would probably be talking more about recent strikes than overall, and he would. This is the trick, because I'm glad you noticed that. This is a trick. He speaks to both the new guys and the people that have been in there for a while. So his fans that have been there for a long time knows he's basically talking about the reports that renewed strikes wouldn't make much of a difference unless there's a mission change. To his audience, the ones that know him, they know he's talking about that. Any new audience would interpret that to mean that all the strikes didn't do much. So there's a double message there. And because he speaks kind of ambiguously, he's talking to both of them at the same time.
Okay. So let's continue here.
It had no effect at all on Iran. No effect at all on Iran's ability to suppress shipping in the Strait, let's say. And then we hit him really hard over the past couple of weeks. Not as hard as in the opening phase of the war, but we hit him pretty hard. And again, it had no effect on their ability to prosecute the war. Actually, Iran has been widening the war by supporting their proxies in Iraq and Yemen, who have increased the pressure on Saudi Arabia and the Red Sea. So if Trump pounds Iran and we go back to war with Iran and we hit them really hard, why and how would that produce a different result than the more severe attacks in the beginning or the less severe attacks a few weeks ago? It isn't. This is Iran putting pressure on Trump to effectively put up or shut up here.
So I don't think so. I think the Islamic Republic thinks that he's going to put up and we might as well just get started. That's what I think is happening. So I disagree with that. I think why would the Islamic Republic would want to dare the United States? They're not interested in daring the United States and getting Israel involved. They're not interested in major escalation. Why would they do that? If they're doing this, to me, it suggests that their calculation is that a major escalation is going to happen anyways.
Yes. Yes, I believe so.
Right. Look at this. Look at this.
But again, like the framing
Okay,
works for both. We're basically agreeing with him. We're just have a different frame on it.
Framing, yes. True. So look at this. Prime Minister Netanyahu is meeting with Pete Hegseth. Look at this. Is beautiful pictures. Let me actually.
I know what they're both thinking.
What?
Oh, we're gonna kill so many IRGC Durkas.
Oh, wait! I saw there's super chats, and you start a comment. So let's actually read the super chats and then the start comment before I play this video. Steak and Bean saying yes, but free Iran is against Durka's will, and they tell Trump free Iran equals we go east. Free Iran equals we go east. Oh, we go to China. Well, let them.
Yeah, if
like,
the Durkas
honestly,
want to go to China,
yes,
let them go to China. They're not going to control
let them go
Iran.
to China. Yeah, let them go. Like, honestly, do you think like China and Russia could replace what the United States can offer? I mean, technically, they have already threatened the United States. Like Saudi Arabia has threatened the United States by going and being buddies with China. What did the Chinese do for them? Nothing. They didn't do anything for them. They can't do anything.
Or
Let them.
maybe Steak and Beans is talking about the propagandists. Oh no, you can't get rid of the IRGC. Like if you free Iran is gonna go to China. It's not gonna go to you. The free Iranian people are gonna want China. Bullshit messaging, trying to trick Trump into believing that that's something that the people of Iran would want if they were free. You understand what I'm saying?
I don't think.
Like,
so,
I don't think that's what's gonna happen. But yes, but free Iran is against Durkas.
I think it's
and
me.
the
We're
Durkas-
gonna go to China.
And the Durkas will tell Trump, look, wait, hear me out. And the Durkas are going to tell Trump, hey, and Durkas will tell Trump, free Iran equals we go east. Like Iran will go east. Like, who would be telling that to Trump? And it's not going to be the people of Iran. It would have to be propagandists and IRGC. Like, they'll go
I think
further
it's common
east.
knowledge. Okay. All right, let me just answer this and we'll move on after this. I think it's common knowledge that the Iranian people are very much more pro-West and extremely anti-CCP and anti-Russia because of their involvement in supporting the Islamic Republic, right? But I do think, if I had to guess, it could be saying that the Durka, because the heads of Islamic countries in the Middle East have tried to use going to China as a leverage against the United States. And it didn't work so it's not going to work again. So that's what I'm guessing.
Okay,
but
it is absolutely not common knowledge.
Well, I mean, common knowledge. I mean, among people. I mean, common knowledge. I mean, among the people in power. In power. Okay, yes, that's what I mean. Thank you for clarifying. Thank you for making me clarify. Yes, sorry. You're right. I should talk. I should be more. I should. It's a curse of knowledge.
If you're new here, understand the Iranian people do not like the IRGC. If you're new here, just so you know, if you do a little research, look into it, you're going to find that we are right. Iranian people do not like the IRGC.
The Iranian people also hate the Russian government. And they hate it with passion. And they also hate the CCP with passion.
The CCP put the cameras in to follow them around and shit.
Anything that has touched communism ever, they hate. And also CCP support for the Islamic Republic. They hate the CCP because the CCP supports the Islamic Republic. They consider Russia and China to be, communist or communist adjacent countries, and they're extremely allergic to communism. And they hate Russia's government, not just because of Putin's support for the Islamic Republic, but because of the history that the Iranian people have had with Russia, with the Soviet Union. They hate them. They hate them so much. One of the main reasons why so many Iranian people pick up the Ukrainian flag and celebrate Ukraine is because of their hate for Russia. It's actually some Iranian people, their support for Ukraine has more to do for their hate for Russia than love for Ukraine. Right. So there's that.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah. Amy with a super chat saying Nick looks like a kid playing dress up. Nick Fintus. Yes, it does. You're right, with his suit.
The suit looks a little big on him, and it always looks like there's a hidden yarmulke somewhere in the back of his skull. I think he's transforming like a wolf, like a werewolf in the full moon. Soon he will go full Shlomo. That is a guy's estimation. He may go full Shlomo.
Right. And thank you, Amy. Thank you for the super chat. You start this comment, Monkey. You wanted to respond to this?
Yeah, boots are meant to go on the ground. There's a lot of people that try to speak for us. And even if they are our friends and family, we understand that is their right. That doesn't mean that they reflect our feelings.
Great point. And then we got Noah, the Persian American, saying, I vote to send Nick to Mother Russia. Yes. I mean, he hates
No.
He hates that.
No, you can't do that. We're going to send him to kiss the wall.
Ooh, ouch. That's actually...
We're going to do a DNA test. We're going to find that not only is he genetically a Jewish, he is also genetically Bibi's family.
Yes.
That would be delicious.
That would be amazing. Rod, thank you for the jewels. 10 jewels from Rod. I appreciate you, Rod. Thank you. All right, let's watch this video. I appreciate you. Wait, let me actually have a better video by Netanyahu himself talking about what just happened with Pete Hegseth. You know what? He's talking Hebrew. I'll just read it. Netanyahu saying, I have just finished a conversation with the Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth. He told me something interesting. He said to me, we look at the world and there are countries that have the will to fight alongside the United States, but they lack the capability. And there are countries that have the capability, but lack the will. He said, only in Israel do we see both the will and capability. Wow, that was a pretty good statement by Pete Hegseth. Amazing. Wow.
That is,
love that statement.
yes. It reflects on a lot of
100%.
issues.
That is such a good summary of why Israel is the model ally of United States.
Like he would, let me see if I'm interpreting this. He's talking about Europe and the Persian Gulf partners. Because Saudi
yeah,
has the
he's talking about-
capabilities. Well, NATO has the capabilities, but they lack the will. And Saudis
Yes.
have the will, but they lack the capability. They keep missing the target.
Yeah. Yeah. The only other country that comes close is Ukraine. But they don't have the abilities of Israel, though. But still. You agree?
They're getting
Only other
good.
country
They're
that
getting
comes-
there.
Yes. Pretty high up there, though. Pretty high up there. But I would say if that list belongs to Ukraine, you're right. They're they are really good. And they're growing really fast. And so, yeah, I think there's two countries, Israel and Ukraine, that fit that. Hopefully one day Iran. You think that will happen? Iran being a country that is willing to and able to fight alongside United States against their
Well,
enemies and
okay.
our enemies.
So here's the thing. That's already a done deal. It's happened many times. The one that would be the next one would be Ukraine. But like, oh, do they have the will and capability to fight alongside it? Oh, whoa, what have we been doing here for all these months? Yeah, of course. What have we done throughout all of like we would say the last 20, 30 years, a lot of the stuff we do together. Like when Israel strikes somewhere in Syria, are we pretending that we're not coordinating our satellite intelligence? That we're not like let's be real here, right? Any sober analysis of a lot of the strikes that Israel does outside of Israel, any sober analysis would tell you, yeah, of course they coordinated with the U.S. They may not say that this was politically coordinated, but there's no way that these strikes are happening without coordination with military, that they're not going to tell us that they're passing through, that their jets are coming through here. They're just not going to tell us, and we're going to suspect that we don't know what the hell is happening. Of course, everything that Israel does, they coordinate with us, and everything we do in the region, we coordinate with them. So anyone that stands beside us, well, that's Israel. And you know what? The only ones that are about to get there is Ukraine, right? Poland is still tied by NATO, and I think they would, but because of whatever reasons, we're not even asking them to. So many NATO countries have the capabilities, but lack the will. And in the Persian Gulf, what we see is some countries that have the will, but they lack the capability. You have the equipment, but I can't leave you in charge because the bombs are going to hit Jordan. I got to take over.
Right.
I give you jets, but you can't hit the target. You have the will, but your capabilities aren't there yet.
Shana, regarding Ukraine, is saying they don't have the abilities yet. Exactly. Also, let me go through the super chats. Fleshy Interloper saying boots on the ground are people too.
Okay, yes. Yeah, we are. Let us speak for ourselves, damn it.
Yes, thank you, Fleshy. And then Shana with a super chat saying, fun fact, when England was having its witch burnings, oh my god, is that fun? Witch burnings in the late Middle Ages, the French were accusing people of being werewolves. Many were killed. Oh, I didn't know that. Werewolves in France. Okay.
Yes. This was a big problem for the unibrow. This is tough for hairy people. If you're very hairy, I imagine this would have been not fun at all. Like someone in the chat may say too soon, but this was the Middle Ages. I mean, I think we can joke about it. But witch burnings, I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's a good thing. You know, people in chat are saying Dracula. No, Dracula was a hero. I mean, he took so many back holes from the Ottomans.
Well, I didn't know that. Thank you, Shana. That is a kind of dark fun fact. Yes.
Yeah.
Sassy with a super chat saying, Paul, Armin has Nick on live stream for debate. I mean, you don't need a poll. I would love to do that. He wouldn't say yes to me. He wouldn't do that for sure. So, but yeah, I would definitely do that.
The best way to debate it is telling, yeah, but what if you're related to BB though? Why is the reason that you dominated anti-Semitism is because you're kind of Jewish and you people dominate all kinds of stuff. I would play into it. Listen. I'm gonna tell you something, Nick. Okay, you seem to be a nice young man, right? Despite our disagreements, you always kind of look like you have a yarmulke back there. Let's just put it out there like it is, right? I think you might be a good addition to the team. Some people may find some things unforgivable, but you know what? What changes that is what comes after.
That's good.
I think that's gonna be Guy's method.
Oh yeah, maybe Guy could have him. All right, Stick and Beans with a super chat saying, "What the fuck, monkey? You interpret me as if I mean Iranians when I said Durkas. I'm insulted to the deepest part of my soul. Winky
Oh
face.
my God.
Durkas, all Arab nations in the Middle East. You insulted.
Oh, so that's the part I didn't understand, because to me, Durka is a very Iranian crazy person. And I don't, some Arabs, because they have Sunnis, they have all kinds of.
Durka just
I
means
don't know.
jihadi.
I did not know that. Okay, I was today years old when I found that out. I thought Durka was a very much like Haydar. Are all Sunnis Haydar, or is that more Shia?
Hey, Shia, that's Shia.
That's Shia. So sometimes I have trouble understanding what is Durka, meaning all jihadis, and what is Haydar, which is just Shia. So I'm still learning.
So Steak and Beans was so insulted that he gifted 20 memberships, 20 to the people in the chat to overcome.
I'm not gonna offend you more on purpose. If this happens, it's gonna be accidental. It's great motivation for me to misunderstand, but I'm only gonna misunderstand accidentally.
Thank you, Steak and Beans. Thank you for your gifts and your support. I appreciate that. All right, let's go back to BB. Say what he says here.
And you've got this lunatic mayor in New York thinking you may get arrested if you go to New York, which will never happen.
First of all, I'm going to New York.
Yeah.
I'd love to see you there when I go to the UN in September.
You know, I moved to Florida.
Well, you can take
I'll
a plane.
come up. Yes.
You can come. You've come to Washington, so you can go there. But I'm definitely going there. I'm going to speak the truth in front of this. There's just hate spewing elected official who's pitting one group of New Yorkers against the others. He's turning them against New York Jews. I mean, what are we in the 1930s? What is this? So much hate.
Wait, he's going to New York.
So many lies.
He's going to New York. I think this was your suggestion. He should go to New York, and maybe he should go to the mayor's office.
Yeah. This is like, I wouldn't even make the 1930s comment, because like a lot of Americans hate it when you just constantly bring up World War II. They hate it. They truly hate it. They get defensive about it. I think it's because the left called us Nazis for the last 20 years, right? Since 2016, basically, since Trump, or just Nazis, World War II, Nazis. So we, like, people outside of America, they're not so like, it's topical. For us, we hate that. We hate that subject coming up every time, even though it's incredibly appropriate. I want him to go by and say, "What's up? I'm here. I'm at the mayor's office. Hey, ring-a-ding-a-ling-ding. I'm right here. Why don't we have ourselves a little meeting? I dropped by. I heard you talking shit. You're going to talk that shit right now? Come here. Puts his hands in front of me. You're going to arrest me, motherfucker? Come here." I'd love to see that.
Yeah, me too. Oh, wait. Shana gave us a super chat saying, "Sorry, I didn't mean to make it dark." No, it's okay. I like dark. It's fine. Say, Monkey said werewolves, and I always want a chance to mock the French. Oh my God, that's okay. That's racist. Stop being racist against French. I'm just joking. They thought humans were shapeshifting. Okay. Okay.
No,
What,
no, the
French
shape
people?
shifting. Wait. This
Yes.
is like it's not shape shifting in France. It's an influx of inbreeders. They're still human. They're just a new population, all right? And you know what? We should teach them about the like we have laws about this. I think they tried to pass a law about it in the UK, so this cousin marriage thing stops because people start to look like werewolves and things like that. And you know what? We have to admonish the French and put that into law too, so they won't, there won't be less of a werewolf, worry.
Great. Jesus Christ. Okay, French people, we love you. We don't like your government, but no offense. Okay, let's go to Viva la France, right? Is that how you say it? Anyway, let's go to
Oui.
BP. Oui.
Look at this regime today. It's attacking everybody in sight. It's attacking Saudi Arabia. It's attacking Kuwait. It's attacking Bahrain. It's attacking the UAE and others. It's attacking everything in sight, and it murdered and maimed tens of thousands of its own citizens. This is what this regime in Iran does today when it doesn't have nuclear weapons. Now imagine what they will do to the world if they had nuclear weapons. And that's what we have to make sure that we prevent. And I think we're so clear-minded about it. And I just respect our alliance and the common cause that we pursue. And I had to disappoint people who are looking for, who are looking for divisions among us, because the president and I see this eye to eye very strongly.
Sounds like a good meeting today.
Yep, that was the part. Okay, so those are some obvious points. Unless you have any comments about that, I'll go to the next video. Here. Let me see if this is, God forbid you had a, okay, let me see what this is. Go to the beginning.
Vile this international court is.
But it scares me in this sense for you. You travel internationally.
Yep.
God forbid you had a medical emergency and you need to land. And you're about to land in a country that recognizes the ICC. It could complicate things. Do you worry about that?
Yeah, I think about it. We have that's why we have special forces around. I served with them for 5 years.
No, the IDF is pretty tough. They have a very tough.
Let's give them a new task. Yeah, of course. It's the corruption of the international system. It's an unelected bureaucracy that sits in The Hague that could arrest American soldiers because you don't recognize this corrupt body any more than we do. And they could say that the president of the United States is a war criminal, that American soldiers valiantly fighting next to us, shoulder to shoulder against the tyranny in Tehran, that they're war criminals. They could pick them up.
The 45,000.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of insane. You're right. Unelected body that was to enforce rules on people that are not even a signatory to it. It's insane. Like the more we think about this whole international criminal court and the whole system, the international law that we have, the whole thing needs to change. The whole thing needs to be, we need a rewriting of all of this, right?
Look,
or
I
like
would put tariffs to the 100% level on any nation that hosts them. I would put sanctions and arrest orders on every single member of them and their staff. Like, I would make them #1 most wanted on the American list, and I would put bounties on their heads in the millions.
Oh my God. Wow. Oh my God. That was like, Jesus Christ. Okay. Thank you, Monkey.
They would have to run, like literally run. I might make it dead or alive.
Jesus Christ. Okay. Wait, we got a super chat from Shauna. Do you want to read this one?
Love French people, the Cajuns, the Cajuns. I say that wrong. The Cajuns, the Creoles are awesome. The Criollos. In Puerto Rico, we have Creoles. There's like Latin Creoles, but we call them Criollos. And yeah, it's great people.
I didn't know how to pronounce any of that, so that's why I got you to pronounce them. Thank you, Shana. Thank you. Yes. So we also had an interview between Reuters and Princess of Pahlavi. These are the parts that Kaveh told me to highlight and on the show. Let's see what parts he sent me.
I'm in touch with elements like that. It was in that context. It's not that, like, in fact, talking to.
Oh yeah, so they asked Princess of Pahlavi why he about his relationship, which is like, let me actually play it first. His relationship with IRGC, which is like a weird. Let me see if this is the part.
So I wanted to ask you about your relationship with the IRGC, because this is brought up in the Mass Judy case as well.
Relationship, that's a big word.
Now, you said in.
Did you see that? Wasn't that like relationship with IRGC? So they're talking about it. Princess of Pahlavi for years had to respond to this accusation that he has a relationship with IRGC, because one time in an interview said that he's in touch with people from IRGC, the people that are trying to defect, the people who are trying to communicate with him, or people who are giving him information and stuff like that, or people like, and then people are like, oh my God, he has a relationship with IRGC. And he has constantly been fighting against that accusation. And now Reuters as well is like framing it.
Wait. What do you mean Reuters as well? Why do you say Reuters as well? Reuters has always been a left-wing rag. Reuters
that's what
is
I know.
a left-wing piece of shit.
I wasn't suggesting that.
No. I don't mean to put you on the spot. I want to clarify something. I don't know why everywhere in the internet, every AI app that there is, if you ask it if Reuters is center, it will say yes. If you ask it if Associated Press is center, they'll say yes, even though they are overwhelmingly on the left, constantly on the left. The fact that this is a standard bearer for centrism is disgusting. I hate that Reuters is seen as more than a leftist rag. And I would expect from this leftist rag to take something so out of context. Because you're absolutely right.
Yes.
They're taking something incredibly out of context. I despise the fact that the AMP and Reuters are seen as standard bearers for centrality and neutrality and straightforward news. Like, this is, I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but they do kind of piss me off.
Yeah, they're actually famous in Iran. People consider, like, every time Reuters is mentioned, Iranian people like show like angry faces. Like the Iranian people are very, very like aggressively, justifiably defensive against any media that they see as it being leftist, because of the history and the experience they had with leftist media, and Reuters is one of them. Iranian people don't like Reuters. So that's
I'll just Reuters.
Yeah. But look at this again one more time. Like, this is so, like, this clip has went viral, and so many Iranian people are angry about the way that these people framed it. Listen to this.
So I wanted to ask you about your relationship with the IRGC, because this is brought up.
Like, it just assumes that he has a relationship with them. Like, it's just as if it's given. Look at.
So I wanted to ask you about your relationship with the IRGC, because this is brought up in the Mass Judy case as well.
Relationship, that's a big word.
Now you
how look at this. Look at, like, other people will get angry. We'll be like, what relationship? But look at him smile, like he laughs it off. He's so nice. He's so nice, isn't he? Like, this is like outrageous, but the way he responds to them is just so classy and just so, I don't know. He's just such a sweetheart. I don't know. What do you think about his reaction?
I think he is, like, and this is gonna sound like, well, obviously, I think he's being very diplomatic.
Yeah. I just love his
I
reaction.
would chimp out. I would chimp out so hard. I hate these people so bad.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you about your relationship with the IRGC, because this is brought up in the Mass Judy case as well.
Relationship, that's a big word.
Now you said.
Anyways, let's see what his explanation is now that we heard them.
I'm in touch with elements like that. It was in that context. It's not that, like, in fact, talking to the IRGC command. Not at all. But there were elements of the Basij, of the Sepah, of course, the military as well, that would communicate with me. Discreetly, and obviously as a sign that, you know what, this is what the deal is. One of these days, there could be elements that are part of the military or the paramilitary force or the civilian bureaucracy of this very regime that may want to peel away and are not criminally responsible to have blood on their hands. Let's be clear on that. When you have to do your military service, you have the option to serve in the military or Sepah. This is what many of the youth had to go through. Does that make them criminals? Not necessarily. And to detach the bulk of them from the top corrupt leadership that are directly implicated with those atrocities and that violence and that repression, you have to be able to detach the same thing. When you look at the Second World War, and at the end of the Second World War, you had the Nuremberg trials, right? You prosecuted the top leaders of the Third Reich. But I don't think that it was meant to go after every single soldier that served in the German army. In the same sense, and especially when you look further at what happened in Iraq after de-Baathification, and part of the reason why regime change has gotten a bad name in the West. Why was it? Because it was so poorly implemented and executed in Afghanistan, and particularly in Iraq, where the Republican guards were sent home. Half of them ended up becoming ISIS fighters.
Yeah. So two great examples. Nuremberg trial. They basically went after the Nazi leaders. You didn't go, and not only they didn't go after every single soldier from the Nazi army. Most of those soldiers continued to serve Germany as soldiers. And de-Baathification of Iraq is also a great example, because the U.S. military did its job perfectly. Well, nothing is perfect, but amazingly, there was close to perfectly. The U.S. military, when it came to toppling Saddam, that was like 10 out of 10. The problem was not the military operation. The problem was what the politicians did after. The de-Baathification of Iraq was what caused the chaos that came after. Basically removing anybody that was associated with the Ba'ath Party of Saddam from government. That caused the chaos. And that's what should not be repeated. You should actually still continue to use so many of the people who are working right now as staff, as employees of government employees and soldiers of the Islamic Republic. The new Iran should continue employing them, or else you're going to have everything will fall apart, and it will be chaos, just like in Iraq.
This is this is the reality. They are taking a statement about defectors and turning it to a link with leadership. That's
Right.
as simply as you can put it. They're taking a comment about defectors and twisting it into a link with leadership. I don't know how to further stress that Reuters is garbage.
You want more garbage? Here's another accusation.
Ability.
There have been reports, they're kind of anonymous, that you've received funding from Israel and Saudi Arabia. Is that true?
Absolutely false. I have not been a recipient of any governmental or public.
Did you notice that? The way he asked it? Look at the way he asked it, the way he moves his hand and his head when he asked. The guy with the white hair and the white beard. Look at his hands and his face.
Ability.
There have been reports, they're kind of anonymous, that you've received funding from Israel and Saudi Arabia.
He doesn't even believe it himself.
Yeah, he doesn't believe it himself.
He doesn't have any conviction when he asked. He's like, let's get this out of the way.
Here it's better, I think, because he's like, I don't believe it myself, but just this is
let's clear the air on this.
Yes. Okay, so here he's being a little bit more fair. Sorry for me asking this. I know it's baseless, but can you just put it out there? Just answer it. Yeah. Okay.
Ability.
There have been reports, they're kind of anonymous, that you've received funding from Israel and Saudi Arabia. Is that true?
Absolutely false. I have not been a recipient of any governmental or public fund on the outside. Every dime that comes to my campaign comes from private donations of supporters. Hopefully we'll have more benefactors that give us bigger checks. Ability.
No, he's not shy about it as well.
You know what? You know what? I kind of appreciate that, and I don't want to be shy about it either. So let's put the link in the chat.
Oh yeah, yes. Link to
Yeah,
your
hey,
channel, you mean?
help him out. Help him out. There you go.
Oh,
That's the
no,
new
okay.
fee. I don't want to be shy about it. Go support the Shah. Go support His Royal Highness Pahlavi. There's the link. You guys can go check it out.
Wait,
I
no. The
appreciate
best
that.
link to support, the best guys. No, wait. The best links to
Oh, I
support
apologize.
Princess
Did I do something
Pahlavi.
wrong?
No, that's okay. That's a good site as well to support, right? But if you want to support Princess Pahlavi, Monkey, I'll send you the link. No, that's a good link. That's a good link. Let me, yeah. But I just want to give you a better link, okay? A better link to support Princess Pahlavi. This one. So both are okay. So Irano Pasmigirim is a great site to support Princess Pahlavi. Okay, but Nufti is good too. You
know what?
start.
He had a link that I want to try to find it. That it was about how this affects America, because he had a PDF on there that we went over one time, and it was incredibly informative about how Nyack and Nair and all these people affect us directly, and how they directly influence our politics in USA. I don't know if I can find it off the top of my
You
head.
could do it later.
We
That's
could do it
okay.
later. I'm
Yes,
sorry,
yes.
chat.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I appreciate you sharing all of this, Monkey. Genuinely, I'm so grateful to you. Oh, you start this one. Do you want to respond to this? I'll just check. I'll check.
Yes, this is appears to be breaking news. Yaron Millington Corner says Iran just hit U.S. ships at Egyptian porn.
What?
I know. I'm surprised.
You mean port?
Oh yeah, yeah. He probably means port. I was very surprised for a second. This is less surprising, but still breaking news.
Okay. Oh my god. All right, I'm not seeing what you guys talking about, porn or port, but well, I guess I'll take a look at it
Chad
later.
appears to be hoping for both.
Oh my god. Anyways, we're gonna get demonetized. YouTube, we're not showing anything adult related on the stream. Trust me.
Yes, we're
please.
not
Like,
linking. The chat wants breaking news. We would only
don't
break.
make it worse.
We can only break one of these two news reports.
Oh my god, what are we doing? All right, let's go to the next one here. This is, what is the question here? What qualifications do you believe you have to lead a transitional government in Iran? Okay.
Autocratic rule. What qualifications do you believe you have to lead a transitional government in Iran?
Well, if an attorney decides to take a case pro bono, does this mean that he doesn't have a job? I've been doing this voluntarily for free for 4 decades as my sacrifice for the sake of my country. I could have easily decided back in Cairo when my father passed away, you know what, to hell with it. I can pursue, like many others, a life, business, other things, not that they didn't have connections, not that they didn't have people, but I decided to stay in it for the sake of my country, that I think in terms of civilization, in terms of culture, in terms of what they can offer the world, deserve much better than this regime and this government. So it's been a personal sacrifice for a lifetime.
Autocratic rule.
Well, here's on top of that, I would say Princess of Pahlavi. So his consistency, he like for 47 years, he has been fighting for the Iranian people. Like his values, what he stands for. This is the most important thing about Princess of Pahlavi. What he advocates for, what he stands for, is what the Iranian people want. So he is the best representation of the Iranian people. He's the best representative. He is the best way to amplify the voice of the Iranian people, because what he says is what the Iranian people want the world to hear and what they want to hear themselves, the voice. So he's the voice of the Iranian people back to the Iranian people, and he's the voice of the Iranian people to the world. He's the best reflection of the Iranian people. And also, another qualification of him is that he has consistently been fighting for only one thing, not for his power, not for monarchy, not for anything else, for bringing sovereignty back to the Iranian people, for making the Iranian people be able to choose their own destiny. And he has been consistent about that for around 50 years, fighting for the same thing. Other than that, he has an amazing team around him. He has a great plan for the future of Iran. He's very open to criticism. He listens to the people of Iran and he adjusts accordingly. And the Iranian people listen to him more than anyone else. So if you want to say one thing, why he is the best person to lead the Iranian people is because the Iranian people have chosen him to lead. And that's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. Like, I could keep giving you a list of other reasons, but whatever the reasons are, I mean, as long at the end of the day, you either believe that the Iranian people should be able to pick their own leader, or you don't. If you don't, well, then we don't have anything to say to you. And if you do believe that, well, the Iranian people have chosen, and they have chosen him. That's all you need to know.
Look, I'm gonna try to like add to this as a person, like pretend you've never heard of Pahlavi, pretend you don't know much about Iran. So this is what I would tell those people, right? You're a person who doesn't know anything. Who is this guy? Yeah, good question. I've never heard of this guy. Why is he qualified? Well, there are many reasons, but some of them that are easy to point out is, number one, that he has the most support within Iran, right? And this was something that is very difficult to evidence from the inside, even though there is evidence and polls and all that. But it was also clearly evident when the internet was cut. When the internet was cut, one of the person that was pointed this out was the Hermit King Asmongold. His engagement dropped by around, what was it, 30-40 million subscribers and viewers. That means that Iran could not connect with him. It means that Iran was the people who were connecting with him the most. That was clearly visible sign that within this operation, within this war, the people were seeking to connect with him like highly ever since the ever since the slaughter. Like that, like this is who they support the most. Also, he has been building coalitions. He has people defecting to him. When you look at the movement, it's not just about what his fame, it's also about him having created an organization that is dedicated for this purpose. It's not what we chosen. It means that he has been prepared. He has a plan. He has formulated this plan. He has sought a council from across the spectrum so he can best represent all the people within Iran. Like, this is not something that came off the cuff. We like that name. We remember the old name. We're going all to the old name. When he says he has been fighting for this, like he I would also remind you that he has been organizing. He has been leading. He has been the leading voice for change. He has been seeking the counsel of people who are well informed on the on each topic that is needed, and informing himself, making himself kind of like an expert. You got to kind of become a jack of all trades, an expert in all of these things by seeking the counsel of people who knows about them. He has a great team, is another thing I'd point out, and you can see this if you go to the site. Like, this is not just, they want somebody, I'm popular, well then pick me. That's not what's going on here.
Right. Okay. By the way, Monkey, can I say you have done? I remember you were doing a lot of work to introduce Princess of Pahlavi to the Iranian people, and I just wanted to quickly say I appreciate you for that. I really do appreciate you for that. To introduce Princess of Pahlavi to the American people, I meant. Yeah, thank you for that.
I want to
this-
thank him for making available to us and outlining to us the infiltration of the evil IRGC that destroyed your country. These people through Nyack and through Nair are infiltrating in almost every state. And as soon as I find the place where the prince is helping us, being a valuable asset, an aiding and helping hand to us, I'm going to find that link and I'm going to give it to you guys because I want you to understand that he is also a great help to us.
Thank you, Mikey. All right, let's listen to this.
Take place and let the people of Iran choose.
But from where we're sitting today, when do you think regime change might occur?
I think we are very close to it. And the reason I say this is because, first and foremost, the regime is at its weakest it's ever been since 47 years.
Yeah.
Not to mention the fact that in terms of legitimacy, it has totally lost any remaining possible legitimacy it might have had.
So see, this is why I keep telling you guys the crisis of legitimacy is the biggest threat to the Islamic Republic. So I've been telling you guys this for the past, I don't know how many years, even before any of this happened. I think the past 5 years I've been saying this. And I love the fact that Princess of Pahlavi, when it comes to the collapse of the Islamic Republic, the first thing that he thinks of is the lack of legitimacy, because the crisis of legitimacy is what will eventually end the Islamic Republic. That's their kryptonite. That's their Achilles heel.
Absolutely.
Yeah. 100%. I don't know what this part is, but let me see.
You can no longer act independently. You have to be much more careful about what we said or not. And, understand one thing. I know Saeed Qasemi-Nejad and others on my team. Some of them have lived the toughest possible ordeal to get to where they are today. They've been in jail in Iran.
He's talking about his team, like Nufti and other people on his team.
Yes.
The toughest possible ordeal to get to where they are today. They've been in jail in Iran. They've been tortured by the very same regime that are fighting for today. And so you have to understand that a lot of it could be humanly understandable in terms of pent-up frustration, what have you. I'm not saying that they should not curb some of their statements, and I've already talked to them about that. Hopefully that will be corrected. But you should have to understand the sentiments out there.
Ooh.
People in Iran are on the edge of revenge almost, are vengeful.
I want to
see. That's interesting. That's what I say sometimes here with you to you guys. When you guys see the Iranians, people getting angry at certain things, you're like, "Oh my God! Like, what are you saying this for?" And I say, like, guys, please forgive them. The Iranian people have been dealing with so much. They're frustrated. They're in a rush. It's hard to ask them for patience. It's hard to understand what it's like to live under that situation. Their anger. Their hurry, you please understanding. Sometimes some Americans came at and they fell in love with the Iranian people and their fight for liberty, but then when they get angry, when the things are not going as fast as they want, they see some of the Iranian people expressing certain things that then they get, it turns them off. They want to abandon them or they want to walk away. So I feel like what Princess of Pahlavi is saying here applies to that as well. Just please understand that it's really difficult to begin to understand what it's like to live under Islamic tyranny and seeing that maybe victory is right around the corner, and then all of a sudden thinking that maybe not. It messes with your head.
I imagine it would.
Yeah.
Also, like, you got to understand that some of us don't understand, and we may say the wrong word, say it the wrong way, say Iran instead of IRGC, say, the Gulf instead of the Persian Gulf. Be patient with us, because you don't want to like go off on someone that's on your side.
That's great advice, Mikey. 100% great advice. I agree with you 100%. Kevin, thank you so much for the membership gift. Appreciate you always supporting us. Appreciate you. And as a reward, I am going to bring you Piers Morgan. See?
Oh no.
Okay. Yeah, see, this is how much I love the monkey. I reward him with his favorite segment for us to respond to.
This is cruel and
Let's see.
unusual monkey torture.
Wait, who do we call? PETA? Or right, yeah, I don't know. Do you want
I think so. PETA is, but like PETA is like the #1 source of animals being put down. So no.
No? Okay. All right. I don't know, guys. We might get surprised. I don't know. This segment might be good. Let's see.
We have to face the fact that if we don't act, we will be facing a Middle East superpower. And this is simply their aim. They've worked out 47 years. They don't care about their people, taking out their oil and taking out their energy and stuff. That's a near term, that's like a bite of a gnat. These people know what they're focused on. They're working, they're building their missiles right now. And the fact that we haven't stopped Chinese and Russian intervention in there and support is an indicator of where this is going. So this is a real break point for American foreign policy and American national security peers. If we decide to pull out and get, as John Mearsheimer said, an MOU that's worse than the one we didn't have before, we're sacrificing our leadership globally. If we let Iran control the Strait of Hormuz, that's a knock on our global leadership, on our deterrence, on our ability to lead in Asia, on the security of Europe. So there are so many consequences right now, and we're actually at a decision point.
But just to be clear, General Clark.
So far, do you have anything to say before we hear what Piers is saying?
Yeah, I agree with him. Before Pierce disgustingly subverts and lies about everything he said. Yeah, I agree with.
Okay. So let's see what Piers is saying.
Be clear, General Clark. If you were in charge here, making the big call, you would go in harder. And would that potentially, in that eventuality, involve ground forces?
No, it wouldn't. I think you can define a box of operations, maybe 10, 15 kilometers deep off the Gulf. It might involve some new technology. I think you need steering continuous ISR over this region, and you need the ability to strike immediately. But you can get the strait open, keep it open, and with some escort vehicles, maybe there's some civilian contractor operated ships that are out there helping, so we don't putting our sailors at risk. Maybe we get the Gulf states to pay for this force, but there's a way to get this through. Maybe you have to subsidize insurance companies, but this is the near-term problem. A longer-term problem is, what about the missile cities? What about Pickaxe Mountain? What are you going to do about that? Can you create a deeper penetrating bomb? What is it? Are you going to have to use a nuclear weapon?
Well, the answer is regime change. The answer is regime change. Monkey, how would you respond to this second part? No,
I completely disagree. I would not want just the coastal thing unless the coastal thing is like a staging area for something bigger. Absolutely not. What I want is regime change.
Yeah, why do you think they don't talk about the Iranian people being such an asset on the ground there already against the Islamic Republic? Why doesn't that become is not part of their conversations often?
On both sides, okay, the left hates them, doesn't like them because they're not in line with their leftist ideology, and the right is reticent to feel like they're taking advantage of them, and it's so much blood already been spilled. These are the same people that don't want boots on the ground for our sake. Even though we are, as a soldier, might want it to, avenge our brothers in Iran that have been, dying since Beirut and before, right? But these same people on the right that are no boots on the ground, they would say the same of Iranian people themselves putting their boots on the ground. It's the same.
It's the memory.
I don't know what to call it.
I think it's a stubborn guilt.
Is it also the memory of Afghanistan and Iraq that has a huge influence of you not wanting
No,
to
not on
go
that.
back? No.
Not on that, because we didn't use the people of Afghanistan. I mean, you'd have to go back to Rocky 3, and a lot of these people don't remember Rocky 3. So us using the locals and them turning, them dying or turning against us, yeah, maybe if you go back to Afghanistan. But most of what happened, like if a force fighting for us, be it our soldiers or other soldiers, incurring in death, being reticent to that specific scenario, is some hippy dippy bullshit that comes from guilt.
Yeah. Okay, so let me play this as well, and then we'll go on.
I can't think of many people better qualified to at least try and explain where we've got to with this Iran war.
We've suffered.
What, really? You think this guy, Mearsheimer, this pro-Putin, anti-Israeli, anti-American person, like you're endorsing him this much? This guy's pro-Putin, anti-Israel, and look at this. He's endorsing him 100%.
I can't think of many people better qualified to at least try and explain where we've got to with this Iran war.
We've
Wow.
suffered a devastating defeat. You want to remember we went into the war with 4 goals. One was regime change. 2 was to eliminate Iran's ability to enrich uranium. Number 3 was to end support for the Houthis, Hezbollah, and Hamas. And number 4 was to put an end to the long-range missile program. We failed on all 4 counts. Furthermore, on February.
First of all, it's not over. The war is not over. Why do how many months has it been? Do they think like it's like you go in, you go like this, and everything gets resolved like that?
They think every war is a Maduro raid, or at least they frame it that way to disillusion Americans.
Unbelievable. Guys, it took more than 40 years for the Soviet Union to fall. You imagine if on month 5 you say like, oh, we lost.
February 27th, the Iranians did not control the Strait of Hormuz. They now control.
No, okay. This is such a dishonest lie. The Iranians did not control the Strait of Hormuz. Mother Tucker, if they have any say in the Strait of Hormuz now, this is an indication that you should have stopped them earlier. Because when these people go atomic, then obviously they will close the Strait of Hormuz. Then like, oh, they didn't control the Strait of Hormuz. Yeah, exactly. Once they went nuclear, then they would fully control it, and at that point nobody would be able to do anything about it. What you're experiencing now, is a small fraction of what they would have been able to do if you did nothing about it at some point. When they build more ballistic missiles, when they get a nuclear weapon, then you wouldn't be able to do the stuff that you're doing right now. And of course, at that point, they're going to come and close the Strait of Hormuz for good, because they know that the world would not do anything about it. What you're seeing right now doesn't mean that the Americans shouldn't have attacked the Islamic Republic. It only means that they should have done it so much earlier, so they didn't have the ballistic missiles that they have right now, so that they didn't have the extensive network of proxies that they have over the region. You should have done this. You should have dealt with this earlier. That's another lie over here.
You got to understand, that's why I hate this guy.
Yes. It's lying by omission. They're like, oh, the Strait of Hormuz was open before, it's closed now. Yeah, and it would have been completely shut at some point if you didn't do anything about the Islamic Republic. And you know that. You're lying. Monkey's right. You guys know this.
Not control the Strait of Hormuz. They now control the Strait of Hormuz. Furthermore, our basing structure in the region has been destroyed. Our alliance structure in the region is in tatters. And the
I mean, the last time I checked, Saudi Arabia is bombing Hashd al-Shabi in Iraq, something that I never saw happening anytime soon. Like, I think actually the alliances that are being built is moving in the right direction. We're finally getting these Arab countries. I mean, the alliance, what you want is the Arab countries working with each other alongside with Israel, so United States could reduce its presence in the Middle East. And now Saudis, for once, are joining in, like doing a joint operations with the Americans and bombing Islamic Republic proxy groups in Iraq. So yeah, that's wrong.
National economy may go off a cliff at some point in the not too
Yeah, you have been saying that forever, and the U.S. stock market keeps going up.
distant future. This is a catastrophic defeat. There's no other way to cover it up. Now, people.
Yeah, this is the Islamic Republic is the weakest it has ever been. The United States is the strongest it has ever been. Israel is the strongest it has ever been, and the Iranian opposition to the Islamic Republic is the strongest it has ever been. And yeah, this is a defeat. Okay, you know what? If this is a defeat, let's keep losing 10 more times like this, and everything will be over. Like, I don't think the Islamic Republic. If this is winning for the Islamic Republic, I think it takes them winning one or more two times, and they will die. They will go extinct after one or more two winnings.
Might say there is a military solution for fixing this problem. There is no military solution. We've tried every strategy in the book. A major air campaign, a blockade, and now this tit for
Oh, you know you haven't. You haven't yet tried arming the Iranian people. You haven't tried that.
tat strategy. All of them have failed, and nobody has an alternative strategy.
They haven't failed. This has been one of the most effective, successful military operations in history of modern warfare.
That will pull our chestnuts out of the fire.
I mean, that is my reading.
Interesting. Amir with the super chat saying, hang on. Oh, wait, Piers, let's stupid stock. That's a very good point. Very good point, Amir. Not a single, hang on. If this guy was defending President Trump, what are the chances, Monkey, that we would be hearing Piers going and saying, but hang on. Like, what do you think? If this was in support of President Trump or against the Islamic Republic, would Piers just sit back and let him finish? What are the chances?
I'd have to go less than zero. Let's say negative 25.
True. Yes, true.
Chestnuts out of the fire.
I mean, that is my reading. What should President Trump do then?
Well, I think what President Trump should do is try to get an agreement, a new memorandum of understanding as soon as possible. But the problem is, it's not in the Iranians' interest to agree to a new memorandum of understanding anytime soon.
Then why would you make that suggestion? Even if that's true, then why would you make a dumb suggestion? So you're saying President Trump should go and try to make an MOU that the Islamic Republic is not going to abide by. Good thing you're not an advisor to President Trump then. Even based on your own words, you're basically making a dumb suggestion, even based on your own understanding of what's happening.
They should drag this crisis out for a good month or so more, because the more time goes on, the more coercive leverage they have. So I think
look at U.S. economy going up and the Islamic Republic economy going crashing. Time is not on their side.
Trump is going to have a devil of a time getting the Iranians to agree to a deal that's as good as the memorandum of understanding of June 17th. So I think that he's in real trouble.
Wow. Crap take. Anyways, Monkey, do you want to say anything before I tell
I hate these people. He's just lying. He's just like a pure propagandist liar. Like, these people are nakedly treacherous and seditious. I don't see it. Like, it's like, let me see. How much do you like Coca-Cola?
Me?
Yeah.
Coke. I like Coke Zero.
I understand you like Coke Zero, but I'm talking about even worse than that, Monster energy drink, like something that has like quadruple the sugar and caffeine and addictive properties. Okay.
Yes.
It's like watching their commercial over and over on purpose. I'm just like, I can't. At least with Nick Fuentes, it gets funny. He contradicts himself. He's fighting others. This is just pure propaganda.
True. Yes. Yeah, and he knows better. He knows better for sure.
Absolutely.
By the way,
he's just evil.
Monkey, we are going to go in 1 hour. We're going to go to our discussion group. Are you going to be there? In our group call
I
today?
got to make some calls. I'll probably be there for half of it, later half.
Half of it. Second half. Okay, guys. So our group call is going to start in about an hour. Today is public. That means it's open for everybody. So I'll be there. We have daily group calls in our discussion group. I'm there every day. Monkey's there every day. So come talk to us.
Yes.
Today is free for everybody. And also, if you're not going to be in our discussion group for the group call, you could watch it live. So the link is in the QR code in the top left. It's in the description. It's in the chat. But if you just want to watch it, I'm going to live stream it on Liberty Politics YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification. And guys, we're really trying to get the monkey to 1,000 subscribers. So please help us get there. I'll put the link to his channel in the chat. He's at 790. Like, it would be nice if we could get him to 800
I gained 2
today.
followers. Yay.
Yay. So guys, help the monkey out. Subscribe to his channel. Link is in the description. And yeah, so this is us. Oh, wait, we got a super chat. CRW saying General Kane's latest interview on Fox is a must watch. Okay, thank you. Thanks for the recommendation. We'll watch that. Maybe we'll watch it again tomorrow with the monkey as well. Thank you so much for that. Thanks.
I'd like to, like, you may have to check this out. I don't, I'm just going to put it in the chat. Tell me what you think about this link. I think this is the correct one.
Oh, okay. I can't click on it on my computer, but oh, the Nufti.
Okay.
Oh,
can
yeah,
I
okay, here.
can I share my screen for 1 second?
Okay, sure. Share
I think it's kind of important.
There you go. What's it? Yeah, that's fantastic. Thank you.
Okay,
What
so
is
that
this?
link goes into the Islamic Republic's influence network in the United States. This is part 1,
Mhm.
and it just shows you state by state you know what they've been doing. This is the report. You can download the PDF. You can kind of see it here. It goes state by state, what they're doing in Maryland, what they're doing in Virginia, in Dearborn, Michigan. It shows you who the people are, the funding that goes into it, who are the politicians that are associated with it. This is very important, especially for American politics. In Houston, you don't want them to flip Houston. Like, this is all very important information, and this is one of the reasons that you should love Pahlavi as an American, not even as an Iranian. Because if he hadn't, let's say Iran was perfect right now, and there was peace, well, that wouldn't allow this to happen. But let's say he had never been attached to that cause or whatever. You really never heard of him. You don't care about him. You don't even care about Iran, but you care about America. You should love Pahlavi. Okay, because what he's doing for us right here, this is good work, well researched, and this is literally hard, good work being done for us. Okay, this is for us. We should be attentive to this. Okay, you should appreciate it as an American.
Thanks, Mikey. Thank you for sharing that. That's very useful. Thank you. Okay, so guys, reward the monkey with not just bananas but subscribers. Get his, like, subscribe to his channel. Okay, and I'll see you guys in about an hour. And monkey is going to be in the group call in about 2 hours from now, probably, right? And this was
Yes.
us, and yeah, so I'm gonna live stream it as well. So I'll see you guys soon. And until next time, I'm Israel Chai, Slava Ukrainie, Cuba Libre, Long live America, Javid Shah, Payende, Iran. See you guys soon.
Peace.